Welcome to another edition of Mass Mats and Mayhem. I am your host, the Outlaw LA Red. You can also find me on Twitter at JustinHarvey75 because that's my shoot name. I guess that doesn't really work when I have my handle but my shoot name is my actual Twitter. I don't know. I give up trying to please people, man. What's up? We're joined again by Byron.
What up?
Byron Fever at Byron Fever. You can
at Byron Fever.
Talk to him if you really want to.
Venmo, Twitter, Snapchat. I am sick. I've been coughing my head off for what seems like days.
This is what happens when you stay up in the wee hours of the morning trying to watch shit that's happening live in Japan, dude. That's what happened.
I was sick beforehand, and I did it anyway. And I feel actually I've been coughing a lot worse ever since. But it's fine because I saw Omega and Okada in the best wrestling match.
We'll get to it. We'll get to it.
Don't time.
Don't giga. We'll get to it.
23 stars.
There's time.
Hold on, I gotta retweet the show. We don't need to worry about this guy. So what did you think of MMA, Justin?
MMA was great.
MMA,
who's back?
I liked MMA this week.
How's it going? I'm coming from the UK. Stop talking
It's not Meatloaf. You're not Meatloaf. You could never be Meatloaf. You're at best a second caliber replacement for Meatloaf.
Hi guys, how's it going? I'm done taking. Hi, I'm Casey at Lucha Gringo, aka Bionic Kayfabe with the Bionic Elbow, if you will.
If you will.
He's got a bicycle.
I love it. Hey, I'm rocking. This is a gift from Will Sperduti, the last Christmas gift I got, and it's a new flask. It's kind of dusty-ish. That's why I figured I'd bring it out. The polka dots. Rock the polka dots. Hey, what do you got?
I only drink out of drinkware that supports the Triple M show. Check it out. If you didn't order it, you fucked up because there's no more. It's too late. Maybe next time, chumps.
That mug is actually pretty dope. That might be the dopest thing I think I've seen our logo on.
This is what we need to get our logo on next.
What are you trying to say?
Because W started buying merch, right?
It's the perfect partner.
Yeah, I heard W already bought her a shirt. That's great. Thanks for the support, W.
What are you talking about? Matt Jackson is the perfect partner.
Matt Jackson?
Yeah.
What about Nick Jackson?
No, well, I mean, he's the perfect partner. Matt's the perfect partner. Anyway.
Actually,
look,
I think it's Billy Gunn because he's had more tag team reigns with different people than anyone else.
That might be true. True. He was classic in New Japan. Is that what we're going to start with today, Byron? Do we have to start with New Japan just to calm you down?
No, we could talk about the other thing that happened.
What was the other thing that happened?
Lucha Underground had a show.
They did. We're going to talk about Rogue One. What the fuck?
I'll talk about Rogue One too. It's the best Western I've seen in a long time.
Yeah. I liked it. I did not like Passengers. I saw that with my girlfriend. That is probably the rapiest movie that has ever made it into mainstream theaters.
Rapiest? Wow, that's a strong terminology.
What kind of movies did you go see, Casey? That's a little weird.
It's a little weird movie. Like, I don't want to spoil anything, but that movie's fucked up, you guys.
You
like
just
more
said there's a lot
rapey
of rape
than make them die slowly?
More rapey than fucking Last House on the Left.
Is it more rapey than the recent Last Real Heels podcast?
No, but The Accused is more rapey than that.
Okay.
Yeah, there weren't any pinball. No, there weren't any pinball tables.
Oh God, you're bringing back not fond memories. Oh God. All right, well, I'm going to move right into it. Let me talk about this week's episode of Lucha Underground, and then we'll have a little chat about what's going on outside of the television show with Lucha Underground, because there seems to be a lot going on. Casey is shaking his head like, you don't want to have that conversation. Apparently, a lot of people don't want to have that conversation, but we'll get to that. So let's talk a little bit about the episode. We're 1 week before this mid-season finale thing. and commercial-wise, promotion-wise, the build-up seems to be there. But I don't know if this was exactly planned, so I don't know if story-wise, if it's leading to really the mid-season break that you would hope for. I don't know if that was ever really the intention, which we'll get into more after the episode. But I liked this episode. I actually did. You guys might disagree with me, and please feel free to, because by no means does anyone need to share my opinion. I'll tell you why I like this episode. It didn't linger too long. And I thought, honestly, the editing of this episode was amazing. Considering Sexy Star and Mariposa, their No Mas match last season, whether you like Sexy Star or not, the No Mas match was pretty epic as far as the season went last year. This was not designed to be that. I found it a little bit weird that they were even kind of dropping this match in here. It was a little bit filler considering the high point that they were, that they left us with the last time these two fought. But at the same time, there's only so many women in Lucha Underground, so they're going to have to fight again. And I thought that this was a good way to not need to build to another blow-off, but to get these two back in the ring together. And I think Mariposa does a phenomenal job working with Sexy Star.
Which you mean carrying Sexy Star, right?
Yeah, for whatever it is. Again, I've been at some of these matches. I have some of my issues with the way Sexy Star performs too. But, I try to remove myself from that and just watch this match. And the way it was cut together, the style that they worked, they weren't running the ropes a lot. The one time Sexy ran the ropes, she jumped through them instead of, trying to run them. They worked on the outside. They brawled a lot. And Mariposa works super stiff with Sexy Star, which everyone else seems to be afraid to do. Honestly, the next stiffest person that's worked with her was Johnny Mundo. But Mariposa, Melissa just takes it to her.
Jack Evans stiffed her.
So did Big Rick.
Right in a Calero. But I will say, Sexy did run the ropes at least once, and I don't know what happened, but she did the thing like they used to do back in the olden days when you'd have like the really like steroided up like Berserker or whoever, and like you'd run, and then I don't know if it wasn't the Berserker, but there's one of those guys who wore like fur on his boots and he went to WCW and didn't do anything, but he is a big old dude and he's really dumb and powerful, right? And so that's kind of some of that can be Sexy Star in the ring, and like he'd run, but then he would just 90-degree turn and go to the other ropes. And I think Sexy did that once where she bounced off the ropes, turned around and saw where she had to go, and then just kind of made a turn.
Yeah, you should have seen her when AAA had the 6-sided ring. She's just doing shit like that all the time.
It's completely disregarding kayfabe physics.
Yeah, but you know what?
But dude, people do it all the time.
Lucha and physics. Aerostar defies physics doing shit for real. Like, we can't. But, I think that doing this match after a gimmick match, maybe not the best move, and every wrestling promotion does shit like this, and I don't necessarily like that. Like, the gimmick match could have been the blow-off. She never, You know what? She never had a blow-off with Marty. She could have fucking wrestled Marty. There we go.
No, Sexy Star, I thought sort of teased a little bit with Marty before the No. He took a shot in the No Mas match.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but still, I mean, the real blow off was Mariposa, and maybe there's still more to come with Marty. But anyway, I thought the match was decent. I like the way it was cut together. You guys don't have to share my opinion. I
think it's weird that they built Mariposa up and she did so great, and now she's back to putting over Sexy Star, which I also don't think there's a reason. I don't think it should have been put back together.
That's why she was hired. I mean, that as much as she is great, Melissa's an awesome performer. But let's not sugarcoat the fact that she was hired because they needed somebody to put Sexy Star over and make her look good. She needed somebody to feud with.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, after that 4-way, I would have changed the fuck out of my plans and pushed her against dudes and fucking people up more. because
maybe they can get to that. And judging by the end of this match, I don't know what's going on with her and Marty, but that fucking choke slam, maybe that sets up a new direction for, cheerleader Melissa, Mariposa, whatever you want to call her. Maybe that sets up something for her now to move out of this feud with Sexy Star. I thought that was a really good story-wise, ending. So, I think that there's hope for her, especially if she goes face, if she has some kind of face turn. I think that could be big business for Mariposa. And well-deserved. I mean, Lucha Underground needs more faces, which I'm going to talk about more in a minute. I skipped over the opening vignette. Mil Muertes, he speaks, and he wants to know, how the fuck is Puma alive? Which, if you weren't there with Vampiro dabbling in his dark arts, as Katrina says, you wouldn't know. Like, hey, he's just back. And we didn't know either when we were sitting in the temple. It was like, we knew that Puma was put in a casket or whatever, and but we never saw.
We just
how
thought they
came
shot
back.
it on order. Remember how we're like, oh, this probably happens between then.
Yeah, I mean, we were trying to piece it together, but we're seeing it play out now, and it makes a lot of sense. And I'm glad that Vampiro literally did some hocus pocus and brought Puma back. And I love Katrina acknowledging it, like, Vampiro likes to meddle in my stuff, but the way she said it was like, he ain't got no real skills. Like she's got all the dark arts magic locked up, and she's not even sweating Vampiro.
He's just a petty dabbler in the dark arts.
Yeah, and she sounded like she was gonna, have a little something for him with like the road to Puma is through Vampiro. Obviously, it didn't need to be, but Katrina kind of made it detour that way.
Yeah, they've Puma and Mil have found each other plenty of times, plenty easily without Vampiro having to be involved. But I don't know. I guess if you're tired of watching Mil Muertes beat up Puma every week without any remorse, that was always funny to watch.
I gotta say something really quick. It says there's 5 people watching the show live right now, but there's only 3 thumbs up. So 2 of you people fucking suck.
Maybe somebody still is trying to make a decision. Oh,
well, you know what? I'll make
now
a
it's up.
decision.
It's up to 5. Nice work.
I see.
Good work, Case. How'd you do that?
Dude,
I see 4.
I'm seeing 5.
You know,
Anyway. See, Case
I
is
see
smart.
4 thumbs
If
up.
you don't ask, you won't receive. And anybody else who joins in later better thumbs this up too. Please. Please. Our sponsors love to see those thumbs.
fuck yeah, dude. That fucking mattress company, yeah.
Yeah, I want a free mattress.
Fucking
what else?
I'm giving the shout out to these guys. These guys have been hooking me up on another project that I'm working on. Nothing to do with this one, but big props to Boneyard Beer. Get you some, especially if you're up in Oregon. I don't know if you can get it down here in Cali yet. Soon though.
I bet the heels know. Shit. We're gonna get a fucking beer sponsorship on the show where I don't drink, and the heels are not. That's hilarious. Oh, what is that?
I'm just shouting out my drink right now.
A bottle of vomit is what he's drinking. A bottle of vomit.
What up, everybody?
I'm
Deuce.
I'm actually just drinking water out of this cup. I just really wanted to drink out of this cup.
Put some whiskey in there. Put some hair on your chest.
All right, so we talked a little bit about the Marty Melissa swerve thing there. I'd like to see where that's going. I think that's good, and we talked about a couple of weeks ago that Marty is, since his blow off with Mr. Swerve, with Mr. Killshot there, he doesn't have much going on. So
yeah, Killshot has the big thing going on, but Marty's he's still drifting.
He's dormant.
Or what was it? He had a good encounter with Mil. That was memorable.
Yeah, I mean, look, dude, every time he comes to the ring is fairly memorable now, but I like to see him getting a little more action. The next vignette, I love this. Masquerita with the curls than his body weight for sure. That dude is unrealistically yoked. He's a mighty mini.
He's very strong.
Dude, it's not more than his body weight, because you are not calculating the enormous penis this man has.
I thought you were going to say all the bagel bites that he ate. I didn't know we were going to go straight to the mini junk department.
I feel like you don't know me right now, Justin. I've been gone far too long.
I feel like I do, and I'm very afraid of where this is going. This is going to be some horror show explanation of Masquerade's junk and why it weighs 50 pounds.
I just heard from people behind the scenes that there's like 5 other takes where he was lifting without his hands. Let's put it that way.
It is a big open locker room. I assume some people would probably know.
They call it God's joke.
But so then we get the Rabbit Tribe, Paul London, Mala Suerte, and what's the other one?
Checkers.
Saltador. Checkers. Saltador. Saltador? Something with the door. Hold the door. Hodor.
Oh, and we got Vibrador there too on the other team.
Saltador, and Hodor.
Yeah. And
what's that guy's name?
There's some kind of funny joke there.
Mr. Zippers. And
the other guy, NVV Luchasaurus.
Oh yeah, NVV Luchasaurus. If you don't know what NVV means,
no. What's it mean?
We're not gonna tell you. Ask Marco.
Is it flattering?
Yeah.
Oh
At
yeah.
7-Eleven Marco.
It's really flattering. We wouldn't hashtag NVV Luchasaurus at Vibrador if we didn't really love him and think he wasn't a big giant fucking crowbar.
Oh, come on. Well, look, he's in this next match, so I'll talk about him right now. I am not as disappointed by this match as I had thought I would be. First of all, I love Cobra Moon. She is killing it. I love this part for her. Though I will say I was disappointed. Like, I had forgotten it was this match. But obviously, I knew which match it was because me and Byron and Jamie were sitting right in the front row there. And we got some good TV time cheering for Sexy Star just because Casey wasn't there. Though Casey, I think, was there. He just wasn't in his seat. I think Casey went for a potty break to hang out with Vinny and eat pizza in the bathroom or something.
You haven't lived until you've eaten and shit at the same time.
With Vinny Massaro in the stall next to you.
Yep. Talking about Pokemon and shit.
That's the real trick.
It's the first thing that came to mind. I don't know why it was Pokemon.
Anyway, so back to London, though, and the Rabbit Tribe. Drugs are bad, okay? I'm just going to say, like, the whole thing with him thinking Masquerita is the White Rabbit, hilarious. And clearly drug-induced. No, clearly drug-induced. Even Masquerita was saying, like, no, dude, you're high. It's not me, dude. You're just fucking high.
How,
That's
Casey, do you have anything to say about... Casey, do you have anything to say about the guy who hangs out with Son of Havoc? When he blows you off, how would that make you feel?
What?
Like the guy who hangs out with Son of Havoc.
I didn't watch the show this week, Byron.
He's trying to set you up for... I know where he's going. That's okay.
Casey, you should pay your cable bill so you can watch the show.
I've been working very hard and having a very horrible time adjusting to the 6 a.m. schedule again now that I had a week off, and it's painful. And this week was brutal. But you know what? Fucking off tomorrow, so
I'm very happy things have been really bad for you. But to catch you up on the show, they said, "Oh, you're the White Rabbit," and Masquerita said, "You guys are high," and he walks away, or he brushes them off. Whatever specifically happens, I don't know. I was still thinking about Wrestle Kingdom 11, Okada Omega.
Oh God, we'll get to it. We'll get to it.
But that's what happened. He basically no-sold them. So my question to you is, if the guy who will hang out and eat bagel bites with Son of Havoc blows you off, how does that make you feel?
Okay, no. You feel good because he has horrible taste in friends. So if he doesn't want to be your friend, that's a good thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
like Son of Havoc, by the way.
Okay. Like, W should be feeling like I'm fucking $1 million with me not liking him because I associate with Byron, for example. It's the same thing.
Yeah, that actually does make a lot of sense now.
You know, there's a lot of people who like me. Did anyone get you guys this for Christmas?
How do you afford all those friends, man? That's a lot of money you have to pay out to people to be your friend. I don't know how you can afford that.
How come that box is empty?
Someone bought me my wife, so that saved me a lot of money.
Yeah,
for
that's
Christmas.
Frightening.
How come that box has clearly been opened?
I love how surprised Lady J was that you even had a lady friend.
Why would that be a surprise?
I mean, why wouldn't it be?
We kind of get a different. We get kind of that Elm Street 2 vibe from you most of the time.
Just a little bit. Just
Yeah.
a little bit.
If you guys don't know what that means, watch Elm Street 2 and it'll be apparent immediately.
Elm Street 2.
All right, so look, let me put over the people I want to put over first. I want to put over Thunder Rosa, Cobra Moon, like, and the amount of camera time she's getting this year. I'm loving where they're going with her angle. I love that they gave her a squid odd. I love, as much as I love Steve Payne, I love that they're not focusing on those guys and they're focusing more on this Drago angle. Her chaining up Drago and leading him to the ring on a leash was, when we saw it, we were like, what the fuck is going on? Like, we did not comprehend. And it's still that way even in the show. It's like, you're not quite supposed to know entirely what's going on. Like, did she hit him with the magic venom? Like, how does she have Drago under her thumb? And I love where the storyline's going. I think she's perfect for playing it out. I was salty when Drago got in the ring and she wasn't wrestling. Yeah, because it was announced as a trios match with her wrestling. And I do think that she's a good performer. And I actually think that she works really well with a lot of the smaller cruiserweight size guys too. So I kind of wanted to see that. But at the same time, I'm never going to be mad when Drago steps in the ring. Love the dude. He's a great performer. And Steve Payne, I love that they left in him pulling up his zipper this week. Thank you. Thank you, Lucha Underground. Hey, at least they're not shying away from it. At least they didn't try to cut it out. It's like, look, the dude's zipper is busted. It's the most broke-ass thing about any costume in all of Lucha Underground.
It's like, look, guys,
if they cut,
this is why Goldust used to have the same problem, and this is why they put a little snap on the top of the fucking zipper, and everything's fine.
Isn't that where he got the whole thing from, was so he could like fix his zipper?
Yeah, just like, I mean, yeah.
I'm really happy with this match. Steve Payne was allowed to show who he is, whereas when they first came out and the Snake Tribe got to fight in the ring, he basically did a few things and let Luchasaurus get all the shine. But Steve Payne is the man.
Luchasaurus' moment, dude. I mean, anytime you send some dude who's like 6'9" into the ring, they can say 7 feet, but he's like 6'9". But like,
you gets the base for Aerostar, which is amazing, and also Phoenix. Like, he got to really show off that he's a white dude with the mohawk, but he could come in there and be faithful to the Lucha style and represent it really well in Lucha Underground, which is a complaint some people are beginning to have.
Well, he worked really well with London as well, and those guys in Saltador and the other.
He's awesome.
But Mohawk Gimp and Checkers. Can I just call him Mohawk Gimp and Checkers? Because I keep forgetting the other names.
There's so much I want to say about working well with London and Snake people, but I can't.
But back to what you're saying about
dude, London is easy to work with. I mean, he's basically writing the moves in half these matches anyway. So it's like you get the guy who wrote the book in there reading it with you. Makes it a whole lot freaking easier to have a good performance. And and I thought Madelson looked good too. I thought the edit looked good on him this week.
Notice how we don't say we think he did good. We think the edit looked good on him, and there's a reason for that.
They figured out the double choke slam where they solved the problem where he'll grab the guy with the right hand, but now he just holds the left hand out, and Aerostar or Phoenix will run into it, throw it first.
Mm-hmm. Well, and look, dude, I mean, half of the thing is how they put it together for TV. It's like, look, I'm watching a TV show, and I can have my complaints from when I saw it live, and I'll tell you those. I thought that setup looked slow. I thought that it looked a little sloppy. I thought that the big boots from the angle that I saw weren't very good. His slap was a little mistimed. It didn't look super sexy live. It just didn't. I can't lie to you. I'm not going to. I don't have a reason to. I mean, I'd tell Austin to his face, and I like the guy. I'm a fan. I loved him on Big Brother. I want to see him do well. I think it's a great mask. It's a great costume. I love the angle with Cobra Moon. I just haven't been super impressed with the work I've seen him do live. However, if they're pulling it off on the TV show, big props to EB Dub and his editors and whatnot. Like, I can't hate on it. Like, if you guys know what you're doing, if you guys can put him out there and make it look good on TV, that's half the battle. And that's a good reason why he's better served being here than in WWE or someplace else where it is all live and you don't get the benefit of a good edit or 6 camera angles where they can pick one that is, you know, better for your big boot than where I was sitting in the front row where it was like, wow, that missed by 100 feet and slap was late. How the hell are they going to cut that together?
Yeah, I mean, that's where the large portion of the negative reaction to his debut, I think, was from basically everyone who has seen him wrestle.
All I'm saying is that if I'm an Aerostar or Phoenix, I don't want that motherfucker catching my dives ever.
Yeah,
Ever.
did they? Huh. I want to ask a question about whether or not something was cut out or left in, but I don't know.
We don't know which match it was in, so you don't know if it's a spoiler.
You know what, Byron?
I don't know.
You're
what
thinking.
week to ask
I know
that.
exactly what you're thinking, and it hasn't happened.
I'm thinking
yet.
about what you're specifically referencing.
It hasn't happened yet.
That wasn't this match.
Okay.
And I don't think
mean,
it will happen until after the hiatus.
Okay.
And it's a teaser. It's not a spoiler because we don't know if it's going to be left in the show.
Yeah.
So,
but it's also not a storyline development.
No,
So,
and we'll fucking tell you what it is when it airs, because I'm gonna bitch about it a lot.
I will say that I mean,
are you going to still bitch about it though if it comes off great on TV? That's the real question. I mean, that's the fine line here.
Yes, because the issue with what happened wasn't a matter of presentation. It was a matter of, do we want to see someone die in front of us today or not?
Gotcha. You're giving away too much now, Byron. Now you're teasing it too much. You've gone too far. Back it off.
I thought Puma was dead. And no, but I just subscribed to Stardom, which is awesome. And I watched their last really big event.
These are more things in Japan. We're still talking about Boyle Heights.
But I'm saying I saw Thunder Rosa work there. She did the Twister gimmick. That was the first match I watched because I haven't seen her actually wrestle. Her character work has been really strong, and I've seen that. But it was a tag match. Holly Dead was her partner, and she played sort of like the big strong person in the match. Even though they weren't that much taller than the other team. But I did think that Thunder Rosa was a lot better than her in the ring, and she moved very well, you know, quickly, and also just the coordination of doing moves and moving around the ring. It all looked really smooth. It looked a lot better than her match.
I mean, that's what it is about her, though. That's what it is. She is like putting body movement into her character, whether it's Thunder Rosa, whether it's Cobra Moon. She's, you know, Mel's doing all this stuff to just characterize the whole thing with how she is moving from the time she enters. Like in Lucha Underground, did you see the way she like literally slithers as she's walking now? I don't know that she was doing that initially. Like she was doing the kind of slithery stuff up on the ropes, but now like walking in with Drago chained up, she has a slither. It's genius, and it's small, it's minor, but it keeps the storyline where it's supposed to be. And I like the fact, and this is the thing I like about Lucha Underground, having some younger performers that are coming up. It's people paying attention to their characters, and they're not phoning it in. She is not phoning it in. You can tell she is just busting her ass, working on her gimmick every time she comes out or every time she's in a backstage segment. And I, for one, just appreciate that. We saw Marty do it. I think we saw Killshot grow into his own doing it and really getting more and more into the character. And I think after his vignette aired and he got feedback from people, like he really took on the character after that. You know, and a lot of these guys, and I'd like to see that. I'm, you know, and kind of where we're going with Mac now too. I think Mac is actually developing more of a character. He's not necessarily just some black dude from the streets who's a big boy who can move.
But you say he's not necessarily some black dude from the streets, yet we have 25 minutes of Vampiro commentary, who is, even though he speaks Spanish and he's from Mexico,
he's a
whatever.
White Canadian.
He's a cracker-ass cracker from Canada talking about how this black man is used to stealing and getting beat up by the cops all the time.
It's okay. He's used to getting beat up by the fucking police.
But see, I think you mischaracterize it because look,
no,
I'll tell you why. Because when you know Vampiro, you know that he's saying it because whether or not it's completely true or not, he feels like he connects that way himself also.
He's a guardian angel. He's on the side of the police. He's the one beating up the black guys like the Mac.
No, but not in the past and not where he
That's
came
how he
from.
knows.
He spent his time as bodyguard doing shady shit and being in and out of trouble and being the hooligan himself on the streets. The guy has. He has. It's totally legit. And that's one of the reasons why his character is awesome because, you know, even when he was super pretty boy, he was a thug. He was a straight villain. And
all I know is there was a group of cops that were supposed to kill him, but they respected him so much. Allegedly, may or may not have been because of how good he was at beating up black people like the Mac that they spared his life.
Oh my God! All right, we'll ship Vampiro off to Ferguson for you.
Wow. Yeah, Urban, that's what I think too. And also, you wanted to know how many more Elm Street 2 references we can get. Well, you are all my children now.
Yeah, Byron, your hot take on Vampiro is awesome.
Accurate.
I'm just gonna let it stand. I don't entirely agree with you. I think it's more. I think it's just more he understands it and he related a certain way. I don't think it necessarily came out of his mouth the best way it possibly could have, but
no,
I mean,
not at all. Holy shit!
Reasonably, like knowing Vampiro. Yeah, why aren't people complaining?
No, I did see people complain, but I go to a message board where people usually complain. Shout out to Rob Viper. What's up, homie?
What's up, Rob?
You guys like complaining, right? Is that what it is?
But pretty much all I do.
Well, you have perfected the art.
WWE show because I'll fucking complain.
Oh man, I'm gonna get to some of that in a minute here. I don't know what the hell's going on. I have SmackDown still paused in the background, and I haven't gotten to whatever this.
SmackDown's not bad when you can
Luchadora masked assailant thing is yet, but I was kind of hoping to get there, but I was too busy watching Wrestle Kingdom 11. Honto.
Oh, gross.
So,
Hollywood Liberal One's Brandon? Ew.
You didn't know that?
Yeah. Who's Andre Nichols that says that Byron's down with the brothers? Because I know Byron, and he is possibly whiter than Vampiro, who's Canadian.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying I don't think Vampiro
what's my first name?
As white as you think he does.
What's my first name?
Byron
Saxon isn't his real name, dude.
What up?
And he's also pretty darn vanilla too.
Yeah, but
I don't think that's exactly how you get your black card, Byron.
What about Byron Johnson?
If that was your name, you might get a point. You need 100 to get into the club.
I have been told many times that it is a name that is more commonly used for a different race than myself.
All right. Well, look. Speaking of the Mac, let's talk about this segment where he throws mad crazy dap with Sexy Star.
That's good. He's not a good actor, but I do appreciate changing the topic.
Hey,
I loved this scene though.
When you're acting against Sexy Star, who is quite possibly the worst of all, you could be Forrest Whitaker in Rogue One and still have a good performance.
Oh God, he was terrible in Rogue One. I thought the Mac in this scene was better than Forrest Whitaker.
I'm tired of running.
Yeah, it was really bad. It was like he was studying to be in Macbeth, and then brought that to a Star Wars Western movie where it had no place.
No, dude, it was like he was studying to be in Macbeth from watching fucking Broken Matt Hardy and Blue Velvet.
You know, it's a good movie.
The De Niro laugh from me. That's.
You know, it's a good movie. La La Land. Let's talk about that instead of Star Wars. No one watched Star Wars.
I refuse to ever see that movie because it sounds like it has singing in it.
And it's uplifting.
A little bit.
And people are complimenting it. That's the same reason he'll never go see Hamilton.
Hamilton was really good.
No,
Byron likes musicals, y'all.
I don't like movies with singing whatsoever. Except for Cannibal the Musical. That movie's dope. Everyone should see it. Trey Parker and Matt Stone. Trauma movie. Shout out to Uncle Lloyd. Sup?
Nice. All right, look, let's get through the rest of this episode real quick because I got a guest that wants to join us for a few minutes.
Sweet.
So anyway, the backstage vignette. I love the high five, the hand, the whatever they did with the thumb wrestling or
They're all about the handshakes in Lucha Underground.
I liked this scene. I thought it was cute. And this is, again, I think this is why Sexy Star gets over. This scene was awesome. Like, you might not
how
like
better
her.
would it have been if they did that thing, where you where you go like that? Like that would have been, yeah, that would have been fucking funny. That would have been funny.
I also really like the writing touch of the fact that she speaks Spanish, he speaks English. There's no question of whether or not they understand each other. They just both speak their own languages, and everyone acts like they actually know what they're saying.
Just like Star Wars, just like fucking R2D2.
Yeah, well, R2's, yeah, Jedis can speak R2.
We're talking about Star Wars again?
Oh my God, you suck. Anyway, so Dario swerves the Mac in the next vignette. Brother cannot catch a break, which I was a little salty by. You want to talk about racism? How come we're billing this episode as a title shot for the Mac, and then we're swerving the whole audience and the Mac mid-episode? I don't know how I feel about that.
You want to talk racism? How about making a black guy your world champion and pretending he's Mexican the whole time?
That's okay. I'm fine with that.
Okay, just making sure.
Okay, as long as he's in a mask.
What are you referencing, Casey?
Nothing.
As long as he's in a mask, it's okay. Because he's just a masked champion. Okay. Anyway, so the Mac gets swerved, does not get a title shot tonight, which that left a little bit of a bitter taste in my mouth. I was just like, and then especially seeing the finish, it could have been a title shot, but I guess I get them setting up the all night long thing, but I was a little salty by this swerve, especially when all week long it had been billed as Mac getting a title shot.
Oh, wait, did they do the thing that he got the huge pop in the temple? Did they show it on TV?
That wasn't after this match, was it?
No,
I thought it was after this match, and he's like, "I'll see you next."
I was thinking about that.
I don't know because the edit at the end of this was a little bit weird and janky. They kind of got out of it weird, where Johnny Mundo just says, you're a big fat piece of crap, and you could barely go 10 minutes, so all night long. And he doesn't even say he wants an all night long match. He just says all night long, and then they just kind of go out there, and then Mill runs down with Katrina, and then they attack Vampiro, and Puma comes out to try to attempt the save, and Vampiro tells him no way. And then
I think yeah.
I
don't think I was there. Was I there for this match? You guys were there, right?
I don't know if I was. I know I was there for the first matches on this episode. Maybe Case was there without us.
Maybe, because remember how I was telling you about a really shitty bump that Vampiro took? Was that on TV?
Yeah. He took the flatliner, but he put his knee out way ahead of the move.
And he took a spear.
The impact was the impact was still there from the reaction from Puma and whatnot. I thought it played good on TV. I liked it.
I thought so too, but I could see it
wants to join us, Izzy, because I don't want to talk shit about Vampiro if he's about to be on the show.
I love Vampiro. He's the man, but he said black people are used to getting beat up by the cops.
Hey, you know what?
I understand their plight, but I also think
he's trying to be a voice of the people.
And yes, we are used to getting beat up by the cops. Have you ever been beat up by a cop, Byron? Have you ever been profiled by a cop?
Do you see how cracker-ass white I am? No one's ever threatened by me enough.
I know. You worked on a show in Louisiana with dudes who hunted alligators. They would have hunted me if I got on that boat with them. They would have pushed me in, gave me 10 minutes to swim, and then hunted my ass down.
It was actually funny. We were nervous. Well, I wasn't, but the show was a little nervous when we first started working or doing the thing, because there were some people on the crew who were ambiguously ethnic, or and so everyone's just told to try to avoid talking about that.
I'm sure you didn't tell them that you were part Jewish, right?
No, I mean, no, not at first, because we didn't know who we were getting on boats with.
And not at first, so it eventually came up.
Let me tell you my Louisiana story.
They all ended up being really nice, and it wasn't an issue. But we were very concerned.
Your cast, I've heard, was actually pretty good. But I was on a boat doing a reality show with Larry the Cable Guy. It was me, the Japanese DP, Jewish field producer, gay coordinator. We had like this seriously all super ethnic crew, which was cool working with Larry Cable Guy because nobody would really expect it. But we got on a boat in the bayou. And I look over to the other boat, and the executive producer's out there, who's very Jewish, And I look up, and his guide that's on his boat has taken his shirt off, and he's got 2 Swazis right here.
Oh,
And a really janky white pride tat on his back. So like I'm on my boat and I just zoom in and I take a picture of like this whole racially diverse crew. And we're in the middle of the swamps hunting gators. And like Larry the Cable Guy's cracking jokes with everything, and it's all funny to him. But I looked over at the Japanese DP and I'm just like, dude, we about to die out here. And then afterwards, you know, they had like a crawfish boil or something, and they were like, you guys want to stay? And we're like, no, I think we're gonna go back to the hotel.
Justin,
Get the fuck out of here.
did you ever get to ride on a hovercraft during your swamp adventures?
Yes, I have actually a couple times.
Okay, Byron didn't get to because I already asked him that, and it bothered me because it is my dream to ride on a hovercraft ever since I saw one on G.I. Joe as a kid.
Great,
Along-
yeah, I did.
That's
I
awesome.
did very briefly with the Tap Out guys. We got to ride in one for a minute, even though we were shooting an airboat segment, and then we went out and did the airboat thing. It was awesome.
That's awesome. That's pretty cool.
All right, so
6 stars.
the match was good. By the way, the match was good. Mundo and Mac is a great feud. These guys can wrestle lucha. They can wrestle strong style. They can do, you know, classic WWE style wrestling. I hope these guys feud for a long time this season. I love this match as a start to this feud with them.
You know what? I do
I like
too.
what they
Can I
did.
be a dick about it for a minute?
I want to say I like the idea that they did this match because it showed, it really helped establish some heat between the two of them instead of just the I'm taking your title and cheap shotting thing. I think it was really good to show to establish a personal issue between these two wrestlers.
I got it.
I mean,
Both these guys are good. Love both these guys. Let me preface everything I'm about to say, right? Okay. When I started watching a company called Lucha Underground, I did not sign up for 2 non-luchadors fighting over the title. I love both guys. I'm excited to see this match. I'm just saying. I feel sometimes we're straying a little bit away from the lucha. Now everyone's going to send me the video of Dario Cueto going, not enough lucha, not enough lucha. Whatever, man. I'm just playing devil's advocate here.
But counterpoint to that is their partner, their lucha wrestling organization partner, and the source for a lot of their talent that they have and that they want to have.
Yeah.
Sucks. And also contractually, you know, just tries to get everyone to quit or tries to fire them and this and that. So it's kind of like, hey, you want to have Hijo del Fantasmo's brother, evil brother, on your show. But then you're going to, after he's doing awesome, you're going to have your own issues with him. And then all this other crap. And then now Lucha Underground, you know, has to deal with those issues. And then you have or you have Nightclaw or one of the other guys who showed up for a day and left.
Yeah. Where's Nightclaw? Where's Daga?
Yeah.
well, and I said this a couple weeks ago. I was hearing the complaints in line from, you know, regulars, from real believers, but the Latino people were not happy about having a white champion fighting other non-masked guys. It was like, this is not what, you know, they were pulled in by this being an American version of AAA. And clearly by the time you get to Mac versus Mundo, it's not necessarily that. But at the same time, you know, how else can you do it?
No, and Puma, people were cool with because Puma was Puma. You know what I mean?
And he was character created for Lucha Underground. They told him from the beginning,
he was
hey,
a
what's
Lucha
going on, Brandon?
What's up? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we just can't really see you. Your head's cut off in your profile picture.
That's good, though. It's like a thrust gif.
Are you listening to music while you call into a podcast?
It's a fabulous question.
Hello.
It's awesome.
Yes, this is just like driving.
It's classic. Purely classic. So
6.
what I was going to say is
6 stars.
Yeah, a lot of those Latino fans were angry about this development of where it was going with the champion. So the question is, do you think they're going to get it back on the rails? Do you think that they can get it to a place where it should be?
I think it is where it should be because it's a show.
You know, I'm not a good person to ask because every time the belt's not on Pentagon, I'm angry anyway. So,
yeah. But the thing is, like they've tried, and I understand that there's certain areas of business with Lucha Underground that are dictating who they have. Like it started off as a AAA / anyone who's cheap in California organization. That's why.
Which is everybody.
Huh? What's that?
It's basically everybody in California.
Sorry, I didn't know it was Brandon talking. I would have kept going. And but
Brandon's got to go soon anyway, and Brandon wants to talk to you about Japanese wrestling.
Yeah, I'll do that. But it's just like a natural progression. Once they solidify the Lucha Underground business, and because right now they can only hire luchadors that are on good terms. Still don't know what's going on. They can only hire the section of luchadors that work for AAA and that AAA likes.
Brandon, what are you listening to, man? It sounds like a party going on.
I got Shameless going on the background on Netflix.
That's where I used to hang out, dude.
Nice.
That fucking club, man.
What's up? You wanted to be on the show this week, Brandon. What's up? What do you got for us?
I feel like we're having a copyright fucking violation right now. It's going to get our show pulled by a fucking show.
Anyway, you guys heard the G1 Climax. The first 2 days is going to be here in Los Angeles. In Huntington Beach, but...
Yeah. It'll be in Southern California.
So...
What season are you on right now on Shameless? Because I'm only on season 1.
I'm on season 5.
Am I getting? Oh, I'm gonna hear spoilers.
One of every fucking show. Oh my god!
I'm gonna hear spoilers. What are you doing?
You're not gonna hear shit. You can barely. I can barely.
The rest of the world cannot wait for you to catch up. You're in season 1 of 15 different shows right now. None of us are waiting for you. Like Game of Thrones, dude. It's over. I'm gonna ruin it. She gets dragons. They burn people.
Breaking Bad.
No, that's the last episode I saw was when she survived a fire and she was naked, and I thought, well, it can't get any better.
That's the end of season 1.
I'm here to tell you, the dragons grow up, they get really big, and they eat and burn a lot of people, Byron. The show's ruined for you now.
As long as it maintains the level of rape, incest, and murder, I'll watch it no matter what happens.
It really does. All right, so Brandon, G1 is coming to Huntington Beach. What does that mean for us?
It means is going to be there.
It means we get to see some fucking Japanese wrestlers, which we don't get to see that often. Yeah, you got to think the G1 Climax. Think of all the big names that have been in it over the last few years alone. I mean, Tanahashi, Okada, Kenny Omega. I mean, they're all going to be coming here. So the possibilities of matches that we get to see are, like, my mind's going crazy about it right now. We could.
Well, here's an idea. My mind's going crazy too. But
this is a 2-day event, though, guys. This is a 2-day event. So to go to both days.
It's going to be fucking Lance Archer versus each of the Tongans, like 3 matches. And then fucking Harry Boy Smith versus fucking one of the Young Bucks, and then
this is only heavyweights. The Young Bucks won't be in it.
I didn't know. Well, I didn't know that. Well, they don't want to be juniors anymore. I think they want the main straps. But I didn't know Kenny Omega was such a rarity in Southern California.
Well, lately he has been. He's been strictly Japan and Canada lately.
Well, he is Canadian.
All I'm saying
for a Japanese promotion, so it kind of makes sense.
Don't buy the tickets until you find out it's not all a bunch of fucking Lance Hoyt matches.
I think it'll still be.
We got 6 months to wait for this. It's July 1st and 2nd, and my birthday's July 4th, so it's going to be an early birthday present for me. So
nice. Well, look. Here's the thing I'm going to say. It's a 2-day event, so we have to make sure that we don't get banned on the first day.
Yes.
Byron.
What about
don't get banned on the first day?
Yeah, Byron.
Casey's been trying to get banned from every wrestling promotion he can, and they never will. They'll give him free tickets. He can't pay to get banned at this point.
I'm excited for
think about it.
I'm
If you
excited
guys-
for this G1 tournament, and I think it's going to be kind of a historical event to be a part of anyway.
But dude, it's right in the middle of summer. It's gonna be really hot. Man, I don't want to go in there and pass out.
It's Huntington Beach. The beach isn't that far.
It's Japanese wrestling too. You don't go crazy for that. That's a Cena pop.
That's what they do in
Cena pop.
Japan. We're different here.
You guys hear the two honkies trying to start the "Let's Go Kenny" chants at the Tokyo Dome, and everyone just like fucking ignoring them. Oh, so good.
Yeah, two guys who probably spent their whole year's paychecks to fly over there for the event and couldn't get it started.
Are you talking
Two
about the
guys
Young
that
Bucks?
No, it was in the audience, and I'm sure they're the kind of people that go to Japan and then get angry for it not being Japanese enough.
There's also a point that I want to make. I think
What's that?
we're kind of spoiled here in Southern California now. I think that we in SoCal are to independent wrestling what Philadelphia was to indie.
Wait, you can't mute him in the middle of talking. Like when we do the audio version, people still need to hear some sound. Byron, people are just gonna think that Byron's
I'm
fucking
not
with
the
you.
one.
Brandon.
I'm not the one with the soundboard, Justin. But that's funny.
I saw it
says
Byron
Byron
muted it.
It said, Byron, it fucking said you muted me. You shithead.
You're just taking the word for it. You can't read.
I can read better than you.
We can't talk about people that can't read without me doing a horrible comedy bit right now. So let's not.
J-Man might have something to say about that too.
J-Man.
But going back to what I was
J-Man,
saying,
what up,
I
Herb?
can fuck you, J-Man. I can't read, but I can fuck you.
What was your point? Because I know you gotta hit it, Brandon. So tell me, what was your point? What were you getting at? Philadelphia.
the point I was saying is
Going back
that
to-
SoCal is to independent wrestling now what Philadelphia was to independent wrestling 10 and 15 years ago. I mean, we got so many great promotions down here that we're kind of spoiled. I mean, PWG.
Well, what? You
Championship
got
Wrestling from Hollywood.
Pacific Coast Wrestling. You got FCW down in San Diego, and you've got Lucha Underground.
Yeah.
We've got some good ones.
Yeah, we got
Yeah.
FSW in Vegas, which is just a drive away.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, except Cross is not the champ there anymore, so I don't know about FSW.
Oh, who the fuck beat Cross?
Eli Drake, and it took
Yeah.
12 guys to pin him to the mat.
Yeah, it was a screw job. It was some Paulie
Total
Culver
screw job.
bullshit. Even though Paulie's my homie from Cleveland, that was some bullshit.
You guys
But,
don't
yeah.
mind if I listen to a podcast while we do this, while Brandon's talking?
Pacific Coast Wrestling had Pentagon
That's
as
fine.
the
Go ahead,
champion. Kevin Cross just debuted for FCW in San Diego. We
Yeah, I was
got
supposed to be at that show too. Cross is salty. I didn't go.
he was salty. Byron wasn't there too. He wanted to suplex his ass.
I saw him in Vegas when he beat the hell out of Matt Hardy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
he's
think
still
Byron
in.
has finally squashed his beef with Cross. I think they're good now.
We're cool. I think Cross is the man.
God damn it! I wanted to see Byron get Saito.
I'm glad that Urban enjoyed my impression. He gave me a thumbs up and then a crossed out mark that I can't see what it is on my phone. I'm assuming it was something positive though, but middle fingers get crossed out like that too. So I don't know.
Is it a fucking rave in your room, Byron? What's going on?
Looks like you're throwing out all my shit.
All right, well, here's the deal. G1 should be great. I'm interested. You're just listening to another podcast. All right,
He's listening to the heels. That fucking traitor.
now he's muted.
Good.
Hey Byron, if you don't love penis, be silent. If you love penis, be silent, Byron.
He just loves the heels because they give him more airtime than we do.
Yeah, but you know what? I like the heels too. Yeah, if I listen to them, that is what I would say, is what I meant to say. Yeah.
Weren't you on a heels podcast once too, Casey, when they came out here and talked to a bunch of people at the temple?
All I know is I recorded a podcast with the heels and then nothing ever happened to it. So I don't know.
Oh, isn't that J Ray's fault though? Didn't J Ray record it?
Yeah, and you know what?
That
He
was your
listened
own,
to our
that was your
show.
own partner's fault, Casey. Carnage Culture, second-rate podcast.
Wait a minute. Whoa,
We're a
whoa, whoa,
third-rate
whoa.
podcast.
The first 3 episodes of Carnage Culture are epic. Don't bullshit. They're great. It's a good show.
I saw J Ray at New Year's in Little Tokyo. He says, "What's up?" He says,
He's back
"Byron."
from Japan?
He hopes Byron gets his New Year's resolution of finally whittling down to a C cup. And actually, that was mine.
Oh, God.
No, but he brought me a dope mask from Japan. Do you guys want to see it? Yes!
Check it out.
All right.
I saw his brother breakdancing in Japan.
It's gonna take a second. Just
No,
talk.
it's
while I
fine.
do.
I'm going to talk about it. I saw his brother doing like breakdance moves in the middle of Japan on Facebook. I was just like, what? Like he was just straight throwing down, and J Ray's like filming it or whatever. And those cats are nuts, man. They live it up when they hit Japan. I want to go with them.
Yeah, man. Fucking
Goodness.
those cats know what's up. Get me masks of cats.
Whoa.
Fuck yeah.
That is pretty sweet. Tiger mask. Hell
What is
yeah.
that? Tiger Beach?
No, this is this is my new gimmick when I wrestle in Japan. Tiger Mask C. It's gonna be great.
So that's Tiger Mask C, not Tiger Mask W?
No, because you know what? Nobody likes anyone with a W in their name.
Oh. But don't they just call him Tiger Mask Double in Japan?
Yeah, but that's because it's broken English. But you know, I like Tiger Mask as a character, but his greatest villain has a penis for a head, and I'm not even kidding. His name's Mr. No, and his head is a dick, and it says no on it, and it looks like the no is written in either genital warts or herpes, and this is a child's cartoon in Japan. I'm not kidding. I've tweeted like 10 pictures of this.
Is there any place in America you can watch the new Tiger Mask show?
You know, there's a site called Kiss Asian, which is a site that you could watch like Japanese shows while they're happening, and people do fan subs and stuff, and it might be on there. If it's not, it could be part of like Crunchyroll, which is an official thing. Kiss Anime and Kiss Drama, it's just bootleg ass shit that people put on, but I watch.
I feel like it is. It's got to be on Crunchyroll. I'll have to check it out.
I think they mentioned it on the English commentary for Wrestle Kingdom during the match.
Well, and that's I think the next thing we're going to talk about. Wrestle Kingdom 11.
6 stars.
Because everything that badass Billy Gunn did, or just Billy Gunn these days, was the best. There's no point in watching after that. And that was the prelims. That wasn't even the actual telecast. Just Billy Gunn on the prelims. That's all you need to watch.
Scott Norton
that'll
is the
save me
man.
some time this weekend if I decide to watch it. But I tried watching fucking the main event at work, and I kept getting distracted because of actual work. So I wasn't able to watch wrestling. And it made me a little sad because the match was pretty good. I mean, that dragon suplex was a little cray-cray.
Cray-cray. What? You think that was a little cray-cray? Dude, half of this event, like 40 solid minutes of this event were insane.
The
Like,
dragon
moves
suplex should have
You
killed
should
him.
not ever do. All right, hey, Brandon, I know you're heading to work, right, brother?
Right.
Anything else you want to add before I kick you off this thing?
Other than Byron, go fuck yourself, and I'll see you guys if the temple ever fires back up.
It's not going to, but we'll talk about that a little bit later.
God
Yeah,
damn it.
the show's canceled, but we'll talk about that.
All right. Later.
Later, B.
Cheaper to do Airwolf reruns. Okay.
That was just for you, Byron. A little guest spot from Brandon.
Yeah,
Why is that for me?
because you're the one with the boner right now. You tell us.
I couldn't
He's
hear anything
missing
over
you.
Shameless.
He said he was missing you and he wanted to come on the show. He wanted to be
Yeah,
friends.
but I didn't get to talk to him about the show.
Hey, how many Yoshiko spots are you doing with the inflatable wife, Byron? You got to be able to at least do the Canadian Destroyer by the time you come back. Or
I have tile flooring.
How are you going to get into DDT if you don't practice, Byron?
Exactly.
You should go to Wes Kane's Snapchat and you could see him breaking out some moves.
All right, Byron, here's your big chance. This is going to be your big break in entertainment. I know.
Okay.
Here's your segue. This is the setup. This is the segue. The producer's in my ear saying, hey, throw to Byron on the thing.
Big break in TV.
I'm going to throw to Byron right now. Byron,
Welcome
I
to
understand that you watched Wrestle Kingdom 11 this weekend. What were your thoughts on it? What were the high points? Break it down for me. Give me your insight on this event. And be warned, Byron, that if your insight sucks, I have 3 or 4 pages of notes on it. So let's see what you've got.
I don't have pages of notes because I have a job.
Oh my God, you unprepared. Do you know how much time I spent editing today? And
Burn!
I still found time to make notes. Man.
Burn! No, it was awesome. I was gonna wake up at 3 a.m. to watch a show, and I saw Tiger Mask in the anime match happen, and I'm like, that's cool. I like Ibushi, but I don't know if I want to see him do his moonsault with the mask that much. So I slept for another half hour, and I woke up later, and some matches happened, and they were pretty good.
This is Matt
But it was
Stryker.
like it's like the first half of a card on New Japan events are pretty good.
Garbage.
But it's also like you're watching Jushin Liger in a 6-man match or whatever, or just like they're just throwing a bunch of people in the ring. Everyone hits a spot.
Well, it was
And
Jushin
then-
Liger in the Battle Royal with like, or the
Well, that
Battle
was pre-show.
Rumble, I should say. Yeah,
With
but
I haven't
fucking
seen that.
Yuji
But in
Nagata.
general, that's what it's like. And then you have
This
like
is- this
Mr.
is
New
where
Japan eat a pin.
Nagata gets booked too.
Nagata is in it, but he's awesome. He's old, but he always gets like great spots in this.
Dude, did
But
you see they're selling sleep masks of Nagata's eyes with his eyes rolled up? That's fucking amazing.
that's rad.
Yeah.
So what I was looking forward to on the undercard was the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes, and I was also looking forward to Juice actually getting a decent one-on-one match because he's been like earning his spot there, and he's been doing well and getting noticed, you know.
No.
And so I was really happy to see that. The match was a little underwhelming. I thought Juice, it was an okay match, but I thought Juice was the one who really showed something. And Cody, I think, is trying to find himself. It was a little weird. His character work was a little weird.
think about where Cody has been, and it's like, yeah, you want to see a good Cody performance in New Japan, you need to leave him in Japan for 3 months.
He needs to learn how to hit people harder to get over in Japan.
Yeah.
Well, also his
but the only
beautiful
way to do
disaster
that
take
is
missed by 5 miles. But other than
the
that,
only way for him to get that feel, for him to know how to really work strong style, is to go over there and get kicked in the mush a few hundred times. And then
Yeah.
he'll know, yeah, dude, you just fire back. Like, if you think of the WWE environment compared to that, not prepared for that. Cody is used to, if he kicks somebody like that, he's fired. Nobody at WWE is going to take a shot like that, especially from some, second, third generation Punk kid, but over in Japan, hell yeah, they will. He needs to go over there and work more.
yeah. So I'm excited to see him work with Kenny, work with the Young Bucks, work with the rest of the Bullet Club. I think that'll really help him grow. It's helped a bunch of other people. It helped AJ Styles, who was at the top of his game before he went there. And it helped, Kenny Omega was at the top of his game and raised it to a whole nother level.
Okay, but come on, see. AJ Styles comparisons. Let's talk about AJ Styles before New Japan. I mean, the guy jumped off of like a giant X, like 5 stories into the sky before he ever knew Japan was a country. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if Cody Rhodes' match quality was the same as AJ Styles before AJ went to Japan. AJ went to Japan and he had already match-wise probably had some of his best moments.
My point is, like, AJ Styles
literally, though, about him not knowing Japan was a country at the time. Like,
yeah, he probably didn't. But my point is, so like AJ and like Kenny Omega were like, you'd see them before they made their progression up, and you go, these guys are great. They're at the top of their game. Like AJ Styles was one of my favorite wrestlers before he went to New Japan, and then he improved to an unexpected level. Like, so I think that's a good environment for someone like Cody, but he will need the time. I don't know who the American Nightmare is. I don't know who Cody Rhodes is in New Japan. And but I was happy Juice got a high profile one-on-one match, and he got to look better than he did in the Kevin Owens match, except for smashing Kevin Owens' nose.
Honestly, I think Juice can go fuck himself. I don't give a shit. Fucking bootleg ass Tyler Rex or whatever he was supposed to be. But fucking Cody Rhodes, Like, I loved his character work. I do not enjoy his in-ring stuff, and he tries hard. Bless him for trying. But I think the best time in his career when his face was all fucked up and he wore the clear mask and shit and he was all acting disfigured. Like, I think that's the best part of his career. And that was all character work. Dashing Cody Rhodes was pretty dope too. But
I liked a lot of stuff. I think in WWE his characters were all focused. Like I loved Stardust. They completely neutered him. But he worked a new style, and he worked as a vicious sort of heel.
You watched a 5-hour Japanese pay-per-view.
Okay, here we go.
Was Juice and Cody Rhodes? What the hell?
So anyway, I was excited to see Cody Rhodes, and it was okay, but I think there's a lot of potential for him.
All right,
I want to see where he goes.
Let me throw you a question. Let me make this easier for you. What'd you think of the never open weight 6-man tag, the crazy gauntlet thing that they did with the 3-man tag teams for the never open weight?
I thought it was okay. I don't really care.
Even with Ricochet and Ospreay in there?
God,
they were great. They did their flippy stuff. Ospreay flipped too much, but it's also like, I want to see them in singles, or I like Ricochet and Dave Finley. I like their thing. I like Dave Finley's story. I
like his dad.
It was the way the match was set up, I didn't really like, and it's like you have these guys who are supposed to do 10, 15-minute matches, and because they had to do 3 of them, they basically kind of rushed through them until the end. And also it was like 3 or 4 in the morning, so it wasn't on my list of things to really be all that awake for. It was okay. I like all the guys individually, but I just didn't care.
You're talking over Casey. What is Casey trying to say?
I'm a huge fan of Dave Finley, but not the one that was in this match. But dude, if he gets like 1/10 of the skill of his dad, which I don't think he's there yet because his dad is like fucking awesome.
Yeah.
He's somebody to watch.
But it's impossible to get that kind of experience and training nowadays. Like
especially in a match like this where you've got 12 other superstars, like huge names, basically on this undercard match. And yeah, I agree with you. It was a little bit of a throwaway, but dude, the bunny, did you see the bunny?
He thought
the bondage bunny.
Yeah, no, she was awesome.
Come on, I mean, dude, that's a high watermark. What was that? She came out with Takahashi, Tokyo Pimp Takahashi.
Yeah. Dude, that's like his only role in the Bullet Club.
It would be pretty hilarious though if to get Dave Finley over, they're like, all right, we're gonna give him a leprechaun, but it's gonna be the same girl as a leprechaun, and everyone's gonna be like, what the fuck are they thinking? But it would get over. It totally would get over. Weird shit gets over in Japan. Like fucking dude, people like loved Bob Sapp, like, who was awesome, but even
he wasn't a leprechaun.
No, but even as a wrestler, they love Bob Sapp, and as a wrestler, he was like fucking NVB Luchasaurus. Like,
so what was the next match? Like the last
we didn't talk about the Young Bucks match.
Oh, at least they make their own belts to make up for it. Fuck, they have their Super Kick Party Championship belts,
which you can buy.
They came out with 4 sets of belts. I mean, they came out with their the PWG belts. They came out with, what was it? Hold on, did I write it down?
They got Ring of Honor.
Oh, the Ring of Honor belts. They have the Ring of Honor belts right now too.
They had Junior Heavyweight, New Japan, belts. And their Super Kick. And their tights. Oh, hey, Roppongi Vice. That was a hell of a match. What the fuck is Trent Beretta doing?
A lot of insane stuff. It was awesome.
Also, you gotta go back and see Chuck Taylor's Chucky T's tweets about Trent doing his moves.
Have you ever watched their High Spot series with Chuck and Trent, the best friends, and they like interview people and they take off their shirts and tweet at The Rock in every episode?
Oh my gosh.
I saw that The Rock tweeted back last year at them, and they all popped forever because of it.
Yeah, that show is great. They had a thing. High Spots TV was on, like, you could add it to your Amazon subscription for a while, but It didn't seem like they changed the content that much. And then it's like, hey, here's volume 12 of a Kevin Steenshoot interview. Enjoy. And you're like, well, did I see the other 11 volumes if I would have subscribed longer? Like, what's going on? But, dude, those 4, fucking great. Rocky Romero's been great forever, you know. But
I'm so happy they got the belts too. They deserve it.
if someone was going to beat the Young Bucks, I'm glad it was them and not Ricochet and Ospreay, because those guys never Cero Miedo'd me in the face.
I want to see Ricochet go after that junior heavyweight championship, but we can talk about that when we get to that. But what was the next match? The heavyweight.
This was your segment.
I don't remember. It was
Shibata Goto, the never openweight championship, wasn't it?
There wasn't a heavyweight.
I don't know. I skipped around a little bit.
There was a heavyweight tag match that had the Briscoes and the Tongas, and
the guys constantly.
So that match happened. They cussed, and so then now the next match,
shit, because they were cussing so much.
Yeah, but the next match, that was Shibata Goto. I will say that I'm not a huge Goto fan, but I love his knee-based offense. Like when he just drops dudes from various positions head first on his knee. That's awesome. It was a great match. It was a really great match, and I popped huge for the win.
So does half the WWE roster stealing those moves now. Like AJ does it a lot.
Well, AJ belongs in that whole. It's like AJ and Finn and like Seth Rollins. There's certain guys who all kind of do the same indie moves. That whatever, like the what is it? 1916, the Bloody Sunday, Brainbuster DDT. Like that's a sick move, but it's like now they're in the same company. They all do the same thing, but they were working in different companies all over the world.
It's like luchadors with the double stomp.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going around these days. At least they're not all using all of those on the same episodes. So
yeah, that was season 2, not season 3.
All right. I thought Shibata and Goto was the best match, believe it or not. I know you think it was Omega and Shibata, but
I think Shibata would be great if someone told him wrestling was a work. I think like they forgot. And which is weird because like he wins matches in New Japan, but when he was in MMA, he couldn't fucking win to save his life.
Well, I think that this is perfect for him because he wants to think that he's tough. He throws like he's tough. He looks like he's taking shots like he's tough, but he can't actually be tough. So this is perfect for him because this never open weight singles title is like the place for that now, where you can go and work like it's a shoot and just throw stiff as hell, just throw pepper on everything. I'll tell you what, he came out all wrapped up, taped neck, taped arm, and I hope that stuff offered him some kind of protection because the shots these guys were taking in that match were ridiculous.
Well, that wasn't really protection for the match. He got hurt recently.
Yeah.
Working like this isn't going to help for either of those guys. Are you kidding me? That was some of the stiffest stuff I've seen in a long time. I mean, that was like old Mike Awesome in Japan stuff. That's a joke. That's a joke.
I thought it was good, but I
God bless his soul.
There was an emotional investment in the wrestlers and in overall in the outcome that was not there. That didn't match the main event.
Well, and I get that too, but you know the lead up wasn't necessarily there. But I thought that there was some storyline. Those guys were 2-2-2 or something, like where each of them had a win, and they both have a double knockout on each other. Like it was good setup.
Yeah, it was. I mean, Shibata got more out of Goto than I was expecting. I popped. I wasn't actually popping out loud because it was 4 or 5 in the morning, 4 in the morning. But I was silently popping as I was watching.
All right, it was a 6.5, 17-hour pay-per-view. So, what else did you like? And we'll get to the title match in a second here. But what about the IC belt? What Tanahashi and Naito?
that's
I mean,
an
that's
incredible
nothing new
match.
there.
That's well, yeah, but you also have the history between the two, and also you just have the ace or the former ace of New Japan and one of their like sort of prodigal sons that they kind of shit upon and discarded to CMLL. So it's like Naito, like if he's gonna get one on New Japan, how is he? Who better than to face than Tanahashi? You know.
Oh, what happens later? Oh, talk about CMLL.
But oh
If
yeah,
you're going
the
to talk
Jinder,
about
right?
CMLL, though, you have to talk about the faction that Naito's in, and
But
that Byron has to say it.
Los Ingobernables.
You know what?
Yeah,
He said it
Japón.
right. He said
De
it right.
Japón. Los Ingobernables.
But
I
you
think it
know
was
what?
awesome, and it was a great match.
The
And
monopolies are going down because it's all about Suzuki Gun, motherfucker. Oh,
they clean swept. I haven't seen New Year Dash yet, but it was awesome, and it was a great match that was telling a story of a rise and a fall, and it was great. But you also still thought that Tanahashi could have won, even though he's doing the sort of the fallen ace gimmick. He has a new haircut and everything. He's
I
very
don't like
pretty.
him. His hair's fucking stupid.
But he's awesome.
I
He
did
did
not
this
like
incredible.
for Ace. I thought it was a little out of place, but
Yeah,
I like the
his-
sling blade on the apron.
on
I
the
know
hardest
Byron probably
part of the
hated
ring.
that.
I loved it. It was great. No, they sell New Japan. It's awesome.
Yeah,
They do
yeah,
awesome. How about his high fly flow to the outside, where not only did he smash down on Naito and make him like Jeff Jarrett his head back and get a concussion, but he also landed knee first on the railing and cement floor outside the padding.
Yeah, it was pretty sick.
Yeah, fuck that. Fuck that, dude. No, guys, take care of each other. It's a work. Just take it easy.
Man,
Yeah.
you might need to send them a memo, because even just Ace doing the frog splash and Naito gets the knees up, it was like right up under the rib cage. It looked vicious.
Oh, I do want to say I have something real quick to go back. I need to go back real quick, add on, and then we'll go back to this to the Cody Rhodes match. There was a moment where Juice was outside on the ropes and he did the Dusty knees early in the match. He did a little Dusty Rhodes tribute, which was awesome. I just want to mention that. I don't know if anyone else saw it. Anyway, back to this match.
He should pay tribute to Dusty Rhodes by not fucking sucking. And also, I gotta say, as a fan of Minoru Suzuki, okay, Tanahashi's hair is fucking stupid.
Yeah, it is.
Agreed. I don't like the hair now.
It was bad before.
I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Naito's scraggly head either. I mean, I think he could have done
Oh,
better.
dude, I think Naito
that's the
looks
point.
like fucking Randy Rhodes or some shit. Like, it's great.
Naito looks like he hasn't showered since he got back from Mexico.
His hair is so burnt now, though. Like when he first did the hairstyle, it was okay, but he's been doing it for so long now that it's just crispy. I mean, he's gonna have to shave it and get a wig pretty soon. It's bad
he's
news.
pretty much moving from Randy Rhodes to like one of the members of like Scorpions Now or something.
And here's the other thing I got to say about Naito, and the reason why I almost didn't feel like he should have gone over here, like he could barely walk to the ring. His knees are gone, man. It is fucking bone on bone. There's not like any kind of cartilage or anything left, especially in his right knee. It's pretty sickening. It's like, dude, he can't run the ropes half the time. His knee is gone.
Look at Muda. I mean, he's way worse. Way worse. And he's
Muda didn't have cartilage in his knees when we were watching wrestling in high school, which was not that long ago.
Well, neither did Terry Funk, but Terry Funk, to compensate for it, would bring 1,700 yards of barbed wire with him.
Well, Muda was still doing the moonsault.
Okay, so Muda's got fucked up knees. Triple H has fucked up knees. Yet both of them tons of knee-based offense. What? Why? Makes no sense. Shining Wizard.
Well,
I think Naito's kind of the same way. I mean, the Destino is not really a knee-based offense, but
that's a weird finish.
Yeah.
Well, and when he
That's a
missed it
weird
the first
finish.
time, I thought for sure that Ace was going over, but then he just reset and hit it a second time for the win.
Yeah.
Nothing makes me happier than to hear Tanahashi loses for some reason. I think it's because like the guy that made me stop watching New Japan for a while because I just never liked him.
I like him. I think he's all right, but I'm very happy that how he's treating this part of his career. Like he had those matches and put Okada over when he was supposed to be the ace of New Japan, and now he's sort of sliding down, but he's still putting people over as he's doing that whole thing. But I really loved Naito's entrance. I loved his suit. I love that he doesn't even really wear a real gimmicked suit. It's not all that gimmicked. It's not a like Cesaro gimmick suit. And his mask was badass too.
And that eyeball thing in the background was fucking dope too.
Yeah.
Great
honestly,
match.
and again, it was a great match too. I really like that one. And so let's get to Kenny the Cleaner and his
No,
big
what about the junior heavyweight championship?
Okay, go for the junior heavyweight championship.
What was
Tell me
that?
all about it.
He wanted
Wait, you asked to talk about it, and you're asking me what it was?
Jesus Christ.
Casey, help me out with the names. I want to say it wasn't Takahashi, right?
I want to bitch about the Terminator entrance. Let's just fucking move on. And I want to bitch
Anyway,
about
the junior heavyweight match was awesome. Also, there's the Ring of Honor match. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, with fucking Elgin. Yeah. I hope the G1 people just want to
Elgin was in the. Oh, he's cool. He's not really Ring of Honor. He's more New Japan.
Yeah.
He's like the new Scott Norton.
Yeah.
Dude, that is such a flight to the great Scott Norton. Oh,
Scott Norton is the man. He was trending. Okay, let's go. I loved.
Casey,
by the
if
way,
you didn't, Casey, have you watched the Battle Royal? The prelim
no,
thing?
because I didn't. Yeah, I know. I need to watch it. I know.
You would love it. There's a ton of old school guys come out, and it's just fun the whole time. And Billy Gunn, you can hear him calling moves for the first 10 minutes of the match because it's a prelim in Japan, and everyone is dead quiet. So he's like yelling out the next move to the guys to the point where Carino on commentary just has to start busting balls about it. It's hilarious.
So
anyway, what do you want to talk about, Brian? You want to talk about the heavyweight match, or you want to move on to UFC?
No, we gotta talk about the main event because I need to.
This main event was incredible. Best match I've seen in my entire life.
What about the entrance? What about the entrances, though?
Okay,
the entrance I thought was great, even though it's all been done before by WWE
and AAA. Remember, Ray did it too.
Ray did it too.
But you know what? The Omega did the Terminator.
You're talking about the Terminator entrance?
Yeah. I mean, Omega did the Terminator thing first. All those claps that the Believers do for Cage, those are Omega's claps. God fucking damn it. And
the Young Bucks brought him to the match.
I gotta say that Okada under-delivered on his entrance because I've seen this motherfucker have T-Rexes come to the ring with him. Where were the fucking T-Rexes, bro?
That's true. I thought it was a great entrance.
I thought it was a very Ric Flair-ish kind of just like I'm styling and profiling with my robe, and he didn't do much else. And it was also like all IWGP logos. It was really like, this is my home. I am claiming the Tokyo Dome. I think that's what they were going for, which is why they didn't splash it up too much. It was more like, this is going to be the highlight that they use in his next package.
I feel like they felt that Gato was 900 years old, enough of a dinosaur to accompany him to the ring, maybe. But T-Rexes, dude, and they weren't those inflatable suits. They were fucking actual T-Rexes.
And he had a sword.
And he had a sword just in case they fucking got out of hand. He was going to fuck up some T-Rexes if he needed to.
Just to be
but,
safe.
you know, actual
I think
clone T-Rexes coming to the ring.
I thought that Omega was going to win, and I think that's part of like what they were trying to do, where they tried to give Kenny Omega more room to shine, more opportunity to shine in the entrance. He got to do his thing. He walked to the ring with a shotgun. Chuck ET on Twitter, Chuck Taylor, actually tweeted, "You guys don't know how crazy Kenny Omega is. That might be a real shotgun," which was funny. But like
I could tell it wasn't because the barrel wasn't heavy enough. But yes, it was funny.
but he got to have a big thing and show off and go, hey, I'm the real deal on the biggest match of the biggest show. And Okada did his thing in a way that was good, but it didn't it wasn't outshining Kenny Omega.
Now, for people who didn't see this match, go and find it somewhere. It is definitely worth watching. It's long. It's what, 48 minutes of actual wall-to-wall match?
Yeah.
I heard that TwitWow's Jasper Meltzer gave it 6 stars.
He gave it 6 stars.
Really?
Yeah.
J-Man liked it too, huh?
Yeah.
I thought it was great. I'm not going to lie.
Dave Meltzer gave it 6 stars, which he had only given to an untelevised Flair and Steamboat match, which there's only a fan cam of. He gave that 6 stars. I can send you guys that match if you want. I haven't watched it yet, but I fucking want to see it. I love Flair and Steamboat wrestling.
I want to see that. But this was up there. I mean, these guys laid it out. Any high spots that you really thought were the shizzle, Byron?
My favorite. Shut up.
Dragon
Shut
suplex.
up. Shut up.
Rope.
Shut up.
Stop rope.
Shut up.
Dragon.
Dragon suplex from top
No,
rope?
Shut up. So my favorite suplex of all time, that has nothing to do with any alleged murderers of wrestling past, is the Dragon suplex. It's my favorite suplex. It's my favorite move in wrestling.
Wait,
And-
did you say alleged?
Paul Benoit, an alleged murder?
Alleged?
Alleged murder?
Was there a trial?
Entire family.
Was
I mean,
there?
I'm pretty sure it's a real confirmed murder suicide, Byron. I don't think
I
it's
mean,
alleged.
if that's who you're jumping to as far as who you think I'm talking about, but also like, where was Chavo?
Yeah, exactly. That's what Ray tells
He
me
was the
when-
one who got the texts.
I gotta tell you guys, Superfly Snuka got acquitted.
Yeah, because Vince McMahon is still keeping kayfabe about his character.
Yeah, he probably told
Yeah.
the judge he was a savage again and got him off. Like he did.
But my favorite move to see in a match is the Dragon suplex. And when they were setting up the Dragon suplex off the top rope, I was thinking, this is really cool. They're not going to do it, but I'm really glad. It makes me happy that they're putting in the effort. They're at least bringing it up. They're talking about it. And then Kenny Omega hits a Dragon suplex. Like right when they actually start to do the move, I'm thinking, oh, they're doing it. We're going to see someone die. And Okada even said after the match, this is the first time I thought I was going to die in a match in the ring.
Hey, has anyone contacted AR Fox to tell him not to fucking do this yet?
Don't copy it. No one should
Don't
do
do
this.
it, AR Fox.
But it was awesome. That Dragon suplex off the
You
top
know
rope.
that's only going to make him do it. You telling him not to is just going to make him do it.
He's
I
probably
thought
gonna do it
after
under
that-
the apron.
I
He's
thought-
gonna do
I
it
mean,
onto
there's-
the apron and finish the match later. No sell.
That was incredible. There's so many points where I thought Omega was going to win. I thought you have to win after you Dragon suplex someone off the top rope. To me, that was the biggest spot. There were also huge spots. There was when Okada did when he flipped Omega out of the ring through one of those small tables. That was
one of
that
those
was
Japanese
painful.
tables that never fucking breaks.
It broke, but it didn't like split in the middle. It's like he punctured it. It was weird, but that looks like it should have killed. How about like Ibushi in the opener or whatever was doing his little triangle moonsault, right? Which is okay. It's a great move, but it just looks like child's work after you see Kenny Omega do his moonsault, jump up to the top rope, not the corner, but the top rope to sort of springboard moonsault into the first row. That's insane. I mean, he has to do everything right and then put so much blind faith. And you see the Young Bucks who know the spot's coming up. They go to the railing and they're like trying to move it out of the way because they don't want their friend to die.
And we need to call Okada Tekken 7's Kazuchika Okada after the news we got this week. Can't
so
wait for
stoked
that
about
fucking game. Yeah, okay, if you guys haven't heard, New Japan has a deal with Tekken 7 that not only do you get New Japan, Chaos, and Bullet Club shirts for character customization. You can customize King, the pro wrestler in the game, as Okada, and he does the Rainmaker if you do that, and he does the pose, and the money rains down, which is fucking amazing. And because the Tekken games are the shit. I think we can all agree the Tekken games are the shit.
Hey, I'm down with them. Love them.
Urban's really down. He's got a fucking arcade machine, man.
What?
He's
We're gonna have
himself
to go
like
to
5
Tennessee in
times.
battle.
I don't want to play.
All right, Byron.
My ass.
You got
So
anything
it was-
else on this?
It was a great match. I love Kenny Omega's knees. I love how they protected
Loves
his
his
finish.
weenie.
I really, by
Yes.
the end of the match, what?
I said you love his weenie the best. You said you loved his weenie.
So
Okay, so the match is great, but Kenny doesn't go over.
he doesn't go over. He doesn't hit his finish, which I think is a very interesting decision, because in WWE you're putting on a show, so people aren't coming for the finish, they're coming to see catchphrases and finish moves and character stuff. So in WWE, you're going to do this match, you're going to say the fans want to see the one wing angel, so we have to do it, kick out, and then we'll whatever. But this is like, we're telling the story first. In Kenny Omega, it was a great amount of restraint. He didn't win because he couldn't hit his finish.
Okay, so now what does this mean for Kenny Omega?
I think it means that
Is this it? I mean, you've gotten to this big moment, and he doesn't win. He doesn't get it done.
he got more done than you would think, because he established himself as, I mean, he got more out of Okada than Tanahashi did. He's gotten the best match out of the new ace of New Japan. He's the best Gaijin.
Right,
that
but now
New
he's
Japan-
done all that. So now what? He's done that. He climbed a ladder. He got all the way to the top, and they don't put the strap on him. So now what does he do? Who's he going to feud with next? Like, where's this going? Or is he out the door, and is he going to show up in TNA or WWE or somewhere else?
Well,
He's-
now
he should
he
keep
Is there a
going for the-
reason why he didn't go over is what I'm asking you. Is there a reason why he didn't go over?
didn't go over
Because-
because they want fucking Minoru Suzuki versus Okada for the belt, but it's
I think they want Okada to represent the company. Okada needs to have strong wins like this to cement his reign.
Right.
No,
So that being the case, Okada is the man.
But
We
I
know
keep
he's
him
the
up
man.
there.
He's not proven he's the man. So what do you do with the guy who's not the man?
I mean, I want to keep him fighting Okada. I know Okada. I guess Okada has something else going on. I don't know. I
Kenny
haven't seen.
Omega win the G1 after Minoru Suzuki wins the title. You make that the title match, and then
He was supposed to win last year, right? He won last year.
did he? I don't fucking remember, man.
He won last year. It was a big deal. It was a big deal.
I'm just saying,
So-
look, here's the thing. And Japan does things differently. The money is not necessarily in the chase in Japan. They can put the belt on their face. They don't need to have the chase. But at the same time, that's part of the reason why you find issues with some of their characters. It's why the Ace is having certain issues now. It's, it's what are they going to do with him now? They've used him for what they wanted to use him for. This is it. This is the blow off. It was a great match. They got there. They got to the epic moment after a huge buildup. And then, now you're at this now what moment?
Yeah.
Because now for a Japanese fan, the focus is back on Okada.
See,
But
It's
it's
like, yes, we
also
saw our guy do it now, but for an American fan, it's like, well, what do we get with our guy now?
see
but
the
it's
way
also-
New Japan books though is they have like the same 4 guys in the title picture, and then they move around. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Omega versus Naito.
yeah.
Yeah.
They had a great match in the G1 tournament.
Right. I think that's where he goes next, and that's where Naito goes next. And then then you got Okada and Suzuki.
So
And
what
then-
was it before? It was Tanahashi, Okada, Shinsuke.
And
It was
AJ
4.
AJ
And
Styles.
AJ before. And so they were all Intercontinental World Champion. They would just kind of go back and forth, and the 4 of them would be the last 2 matches at Wrestle Kingdom.
And the Intercontinental title can be the final title sometimes. They've done that before too.
They
Well,
screwed
look, that
happened to
belt
Naito,
does
right?
mean a lot, and they put on great matches with that belt, so it deserves to be. I mean, they got 15 freaking belts over there now. So
Didn't
you know-
Naito have a world title shot and he got voted out of the main event in the Intercontinental Shinsuke match, main evented?
Yeah,
And
fan
Naito
vote.
lot. And so
that's an amazing angle,
Fans
by
are
the way.
some cold ass shit right there. Because you know what? Out of respect, for the champion, I would have voted for the champion to go on last. But you know what?
yeah.
What do I know about a country full of supposedly respectful fans?
Well, anyway, I think Wrestle Kingdom is where a lot of stories wrap up, a lot of characters wrap up, and then New Year's Dash, which happened, I guess, last night or this morning.
Yeah.
New storylines happen, which I'm not aware of, but
Which last year it was the Bullet Club turning on AJ Styles, and this year, Suzuki Gun, baby. Oh, I love it because you know who he teams with? He teams with Dragon Rojo Jr. and he also fucking teams Taka Michinoku.
ooh,
Fuck yeah.
nice. Well, I think we're gonna see where a lot of the top four, a lot of the New Japan aces.
I looked up the
group
jacket.
goes.
I found the jacket for sale, but it's $300.
Tweet it. Some Mark might buy it.
Yeah. Well, there you go, W. You're welcome. I had to.
Anyway,
Let's talk
it
about
was
you.
great. I was so happy. So
Did
happy
you
to watch it
UFC?
live.
Did you watch UFC? Mike, me and Justin watched UFC by
Good Lord, mute your microphone before you die on camera.
I saw the match. I saw Ronda lose. I saw her get her face fucking kicked. What happened was when I saw what happened, I went on Twitter and I watched the GIF.
Yeah.
She probably can never do stand up, but no one would ever be able to punch her in the face until her.
She's won 2 fights by knockout by an expert analysis. This is the analysis I expect from.
But did she get punched? Did she get punched?
Yeah. Everyone gets punched once in a while, Byron. Come on.
Yeah. Next time I see you, you're gonna get punched.
Yeah.
Please let me see. I will pay for a front row ticket. Please let me see the two of you guys fight. Pretty please.
Hey, let's talk about anyway. Wrestle Kingdom was awesome.
UFC, bro. Come on. This is important.
Yeah. It's a cool treat to watch it live. It's a sacrifice because it's in the middle of the night.
Yeah, and if you would have watched UFC,
cool.
you would have seen it at the normal time that me and Justin.
I just wrapped up the Wrestle Kingdom commentary for all of our fans.
I'm making a segue into the UFC commentary.
Yeah, and he was doing it very well. I was letting him. Like I didn't even have to interrupt, and then you totally busted this whole thing.
I would like to say that I enjoyed Mike Goldberg's
So
commentary.
after the match, Okada said that that Kenny Omega is the great.
Let's just do this. Is that better? Does that work for you, Casey?
It does. I am sad to see Mike Goldberg go, Justin. I am sad.
All right.
Not for the reason you think. And the reason that I'm sad that Mike Goldberg is gone is that when the UFC games come out, they're glitchy as fuck. And there's this couple of fans, I forget their names, but they do fake Joe Rogan and Mike Goldberg commentary over the glitches of the game. And their impressions are so spot on. I'm sad that they're going to have to do an impression of someone else now.
Yeah, look, I know that they have their issues with Goldie. I get it. I mean, I don't know. Whenever I watch the broadcast, he seems like he's railed way out, and he's not really on top of his game, and he doesn't really do his homework. And I don't know if Rogan wanted him fired or if, Dana had beef with him or if it was just time or if he asked for more money that they weren't going to give. Like, we knew something was coming. But at the same time, he has been a big part of the UFC for a long time. And honestly, I'm a little sad to see him go. And I also, I don't trust the replacements. Like Anik and Stan are okay as a broadcast team on Fox Sports 1 to me, but I don't want them on the pay-per-views.
No.
I love John Gooden. John Gooden and Dan Hardy, to me, are the best complete announced team. And their pre-fight breakdowns that they do, by the way, are amazing. If you ever really want to know what's up with a fight, watch their pre-fight breakdowns because they're amazing.
Dan Hardy's fucking great. Like, unsung great at commentary. Like,
yeah, both of those two guys, but they're never going to get the main broadcast, especially not two Brits, and they're good together. And I've heard John Gooden's going to get a little more stick time, but certainly not, you know, he's not going to replace Goldberg.
Right. And,
So now they brought in Todd Grisham,
yeah.
which he does MMA stuff. I know a lot of people remember him from his WWE days, and they might be hating on him, but he knows his MMA. He's a credible MMA journalist at times. But he's no Mike Goldberg either. I mean, he's no John Anik.
No, he's not even a Matt Striker when it comes to wrestling. So yeah, if you guys don't remember him from WWE, he was the one that sucked worse than Matt Striker.
So yeah, and I don't know how that's going to work out. They're going to throw him on some FS1 cards, which leads me to believe that Anik is moving up the ladder. But
Right.
you know, there's still talk of Jim Rome or some other major broadcaster. We'll see. Again, I think they should shuffle it around, put John Gooden and Dan Hardy on the FS1 cards. It didn't really use them that much in Europe last year. I think they only did 3 or 4 fights last year, and they did like 10 the year before.
I think I've only
Anyway.
seen them once.
Yeah, they're all the Fight Pass cards, so you probably wouldn't see them. They're all those weird European Saturday morning fights. Anyway, I want to talk about the fall of Ronda Rousey. I'll unmute Byron's microphone now that we've actually segued into MMA.
Okada, 6 stars.
Oh Jesus Christ, Byron!
I knew it was
trying
going
to
to happen. I knew it was coming, and I still left. I don't know.
And the Josh Pillows of the world wonder why this show goes so damn long. That's why. Okada. I got your Okada. Anime-looking motherfucker. Anyway.
They're stupid, too.
All of Ronda Rousey. I didn't necessarily expect it. I wanted to see her win. She is better for the sport in certain ways. Look, she helps bring attention and money to something that I love and helps bring it up. So I wanted to see her win. I wanted to see her come back. I wanted to see her be the old Ronda. I also think that, you know, American women get behind her more, and I think it elevates the sport here in our country, because if you have Ronda Rousey as a champion, you have more girls going to the gyms, you have better competition coming down the line. Her story was what made female MMA as big as it is now. You know, it started with Gina Carano and Julie Kedzie having their epic battle, and then, you know, it went to Ronda and Misha having their epic battle, and those are the two, you know, feuds that really propelled the entire sport as of women's mixed martial arts. So I wanted to see her win. She did not show up. Her face showed up, her chin showed up, and she stuck it right out there. But dear Lord, what kind of boxing coaching is going on over there at the Glendale Boxing Club? I mean, she's a judo practitioner. She was always better at the ground stuff, and yet she comes from a boxing club.
You know what it is?
What the hell? Even Amanda Nunes was beating up Edmund. What were you going to say, Case?
It's because it's in Glendale, and she's so stressed out from driving in Glendale, which has 100% been voted the worst place to drive in California. She
You
probably
got that right, bro.
Yeah, she probably almost got like fucking rear-ended by 5 Escalades on the way, and
Nicole Richie driving the wrong way down the 134.
exactly, that shit happened too. And dude, God, it's so horrible. Did you hear the audio of her corner during the fight where all his advice is head movement, head movement, head movement? No, that was it.
I just want to say, like, my favorite parts of the prelim package were when she was beating him up in the gym. You know, I just don't even know what his coaching is. He's just like, okay, bro, you gotta move, you gotta bounce around, bro. What are you doing? What do you like?
Bro, what perfume do you like, bro? What cologne you like, bro?
It's terrible.
Make you smell good and make your dick fat.
I'm sure Edmund could probably kick my butt, but I don't go to Glendale very often, so I'm not too worried about it. I just like everybody. Team Alpha Male has extended an invitation to Ronda to come there. It's like, I want her to go to Jackson's. I want her to go to Alpha Male. I want her to go, like, I would even accept her going to Duke Rufus at this point, and I hate his camp these days. Like, anywhere. But she's got to get away from that guy now. Her mom said it 2 fights ago. Her opponents are saying it now. Amanda Nunes is chalking trash on Edmund. Like, why did you let her do that? I feel bad for her. And Amanda Nunes is like, I didn't even train for her like I trained for Misha. I knew she was going to now.
And in that audio of the corner, you hear as soon as the fight ends, Nunes goes over to him and says, fuck you. Oh, it's so great.
Yeah. Her Twitter was amazing. She was tweeting all the best, like, all the best memes, like a mom with a crying baby in a stroller, but the baby's
was good.
face was Ronda Rousey, and she was the mom.
I mean, and that's literally what's going on. And I feel bad for Ronda. Ronda was a great champion. She did awesome things for this sport. I will always respect Ronda Rousey. I have no issues with her whatsoever. This is not about Ronda bashing. And I know Ronda thought she should just stick with who brought her. But Ronda, if you look at the champions, if you look around, like GSP, yeah, everyone knows he's a TriStar guy. But don't forget those 2 years where he went to Jackson Winklejohn and upped his game and learned more stuff and brought Greg Jackson to the corner with him. Like when he came to the corner and he said, "I hurt my groin." Greg Jackson was the one that looked GSP dead in the eyes and said, "Okay, then hit him with your groin." It was like the best moment in the corner ever. And it's only a guy like Greg Jackson that has that experience that can bring you to that other level, because he's had a million champions. He's had a bunch of fighters. He's had a bunch of fights himself. You know, he's got a gym full of guys that know what's up. It's pure experience.
And wasn't there a
Go
dude
see a
on
guy
the
like that.
prelims? Wasn't there like one of the, maybe even the Fight Pass prelims that was a Winklejohn Jackson guy, and then the main event, it's this fucking guy? Like, seriously?
Yeah, exactly. And it's like there's a reason why certain gyms succeed, and you have to look at the gym mentality very carefully. Just like you got to look at AKA now too and say, what's going on over there? You guys are training too hard. Even Khabib Nurmagomedov is saying it now, that like, we can't be hurt every week, man. We got to change up something about how we spar or how many days of hard sparring we're doing. It's like, you know, Duke Rufus's camp needs to look at things too. Like they lost their heart a little bit with Pettis and some of these other guys and CM Punk. And it's like, it's affecting the mentality of the.
What happened?
Did we lose Justin?
Dominic Cruz has proven that, but I'll get off of it anyway.
We lost you.
Not a great champion yet. Great fighter. We'll see if she can become a great champion. She still has a story that hasn't been written. I think Juliana Pena is bad news for Nunes. I think Pena is a good looking champ for the UFC, so I think they're going to want to give her the.
Makes sense. Now, Byron, I wanted to ask Byron if he saw the fight before this by any chance.
No, why would you ask me that?
God damn.
Because it was another title fight.
And it was one of the best fights I've seen in a long time.
The gift didn't come up. I didn't see it.
Look, it was the rise of Cody Garbrandt. No love. The guy who looks like he's from 21 Pilots or something. He's got like.
I thought you guys were talking about Cody Rhodes in the DM.
No.
The whole time.
God damn it.
Look at twos. And right before this fight, I'm sitting with my boys Charlie and Will, and we were talking about the fights, and I was like, you know, everyone thinks Cody's gonna come forward and stalk Dominic. The best thing he could possibly do is to back off of him and hold the middle of the ring and make Dominic come to him. If he does that, he might have a chance. And my boys are like, that'd be a good strategy, but he'll never do it. And I was like, yeah, you're right. He won't do it. Guess what? He actually did it. And I swear to God, that's why he won. It wasn't what Dominic was expecting. And honestly, I think if Cody fights him again, he's going to have a way harder time. Yeah. I think he came at Dominic with a look that Dominic wasn't expecting. This is part of how you win fights. This is part of what Conor McGregor's been doing to people. You catching them in ways that they're not expecting it. Cody did that to Dominic. He beat him with his own game. He sat back. He counterpunched at first. Then he was ghost when Dominic was throwing heaters at him. Like, when was you ever seen Dominic throw a heater at somebody? He was swinging for the moon.
Yeah, he
was amazing.
Was firing back. And, you know, going into this fight, I was definitely pro Cruz because Cruz is a smart man. I admire his intelligence and his shit-talking ability. Cody kind of sounds a little retarded when he talks. So it's
he'll tell you he's not that smart. Like, he didn't learn how to read until the 3rd grade. He barely graduated high school. The dude is just a fighter. He's just a roughneck fighter dude from Ohio.
And he will fuck up your shit, and that's awesome. And he's nice to kids with cancer. So how can you not love this guy after that fight? Like,
I mean, look, and he won 4 in a row in 2016.
Yeah,
that's fighter of the year level stuff there. And I'll talk about that in a minute because I'll give you my pick for fighter of the year in a minute. But let's just say that Cody No Love definitely in the running. And this match definitely helped it out. the title picture is all over the place afterwards, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But I got to talk about we talked about the fall of Ronda, the rise of Cody, so now we got to talk about the fat of Johnny Hendricks.
Oh Jesus!
He misses weight, and Johnny's my boy. I mean, he was on the Tap Out show. He's one of the few guys that we've had become a UFC champion from that show. So I'm always in Johnny's corner. I always want to see him win. He missed weight by a few pounds.
Yeah, came in
And
looking
then
like Byron.
he had
Bit.
Yeah, I mean, he looked like crap coming into the ring, but at the same time, he went back to his wrestling. He was like, you know what? I just need a win. I got to keep going. I got to get going so I don't have to retire after this thing. And I thought he was doing the right things. And these last minute, submission attempts by Neil Magny lost him the fight. And I honestly, I had Johnny ahead on my scorecards. Maybe I'm biased. Some people said that they thought Neil won it, but I don't think that throwing your legs up for a half-ass triangle at the end of a round when some dude has been sitting on top of you and pounding you out for the whole round gets you the round.
No, I think that's bullshit too. But I also had Roy Nelson ahead in the points because of how Hendricks looked. So I might not be the best authority on that. But yeah.
Look, the fatness is just out there, and Johnny Hendricks really is the next Roy. I don't know what Johnny does from here. I don't know if he quits and retires, if he's got enough money from his short championship.
I don't think he should, because I think he got fucked in that fight. Like, he shouldn't have lost that fight. He should fight again. But
is he really championship caliber anymore? I mean, I don't see him at the top of the 170 division anytime soon. I think he's got to go to 185 probably, and embrace the fat Hendricks thing. But I don't see him getting into the title picture that way.
Yeah. It's just too bad if that's the way he goes out, because he's a good dude. He's had some really exciting fights. It's like, man, yeah, that would suck if it was.
I know it's tough. This is my boy, so I don't know what to make of it. Anyway, so then, look, this Tony Khabib versus Dana thing. Tony and Khabib want to fight each other. Khabib has a contract that gets him more money. He says it's because he's got all of Russia that comes with him, which I'm sure helps a lot. I mean, he's got an entire market. He's got an entire country and a big one behind him. Whereas, all right, I'm going to mute Byron. He's over there throwing blow-up dolls around.
I thought we let Brandon back on the show for a second.
Yeah, that was hilarious. He's just gonna come on the show, just watching some TV with some people in the background. That's cool. I see how it is. Yeah, but so Tony says, I want more money. I want the same money that Khabib's getting for the fight. And Dana's like, well, that's not your contract, so you're not getting that. And especially right now,
I don't want to fight Khabib. It's that ludicrous of a fucking request, really.
I don't know that it's that he doesn't want to fight Khabib. I think he really does want the Khabib fight, but I think that he knows the Khabib fight is super dangerous, and there's no telling what's on the other side of that, so he better renegotiate now while he can. Tony's no fool. El Kukui wants to be a nightmare. He doesn't want to be a dead man. So he wants to renegotiate. So then Khabib says he'll give him $200K out of his own money to take the fight. And Tony says, no, it's not about that, because I want to extend my longevity through all of UFC. And Tony won't actually even directly engage Khabib now. So now they're in this big whole thing. Then Jose Aldo says he wants to fight Khabib. Dana says he wants Jose to fight Khabib. And Khabib says, why the hell do I want to fight Jose Aldo? Which makes sense. It doesn't get him anything. The only thing that could do for Khabib is make him look foolish if Jose somehow did pull out a win or leg kick him into oblivion. There's no gain for Khabib to fight Jose. So the whole thing's a mess. And then Cody Garbrandt is talking about wanting to fight Jose, who's, Jose wants to fight at 155.
But wait, who did Cody told Dillashaw to come at him, motherfucker?
No, he's backed off the Dillashaw thing now because Dillashaw. But here's the reason why. Dillashaw is the only fight left for him at 135. There's nothing else down there. So if he gets to Dillashaw immediately, it's better for him to go off on an escapade and try to be Conor, or try to do something interesting, or call out Jose or something. Cody called out Conor.
Right.
He wants to fight Conor at 150 pounds or whatever. It's like, bro, you're a 135er. Please, you're pipe dreaming. Your best bet is to hope that DJ comes up to you and that you can beat him down because you got some weight on him. But He's calling out all these people, and the whole thing is muckety mucked. And this is the byproduct of such a great year in MMA. A lot of divisions are cleaned out now, and like the one or two guys at the top of each division all kind of are jockeying to fight each other, and Connor's sitting on the sidelines for a while. I think the first half of 2017 is going to be a stinker because these fights can't get made.
Right.
And there's no one else in their divisions. You got poor Frankie Edgar. Like, we don't want to see him fight Jose again. He's got nothing at 145 right now.
And
What's
we
he
don't
going to
have
do,
any
fight
women's
Max Holloway?
We don't have any women's title matches that are enticing now either to carry the card.
You got Holly Holm versus Jermaine Durandamy, which is like, if Holly doesn't win that fight, she's done. That's going to ruin her career. But then who's she going to fight at 145 pounds while Cyborg is out, you know, doing her diuretics to clear out the steroids?
Cyborg, she popped hot again.
Don't you have to work tomorrow
I don't know.
morning?
The whole thing's a hot mess.
What time do you start work tomorrow, Byron?
8.
J-Mo clock.
Look at this. And you guys classy as this?
He looks
Yes.
like
I have a Bushmills tenure downstairs that I
he looks like the world's shittiest Jack Evans cosplayer right now. The way he's wearing his hat.
really. You need a
You're
good
just stuck
Protestant
on
whiskey.
the Slim Jim commercial.
Speaking of Slim Jim commercial, how did J-Man and Urban land that spot?
Oh, I don't know, but they look so much better than usual.
And they made J-Man look like Jack Evans. It's kind of cool. I like that. I'm glad to finally see them getting their big push, and that the Lucha Underground guys are really helping them like take it to the next level by putting them in that Slim Jim commercial. That's really awesome. I liked it. I mean, I was watching it on my phone. It was really small, so I couldn't really.
They made Urban look like the guy who tries to sell me cologne at the mall.
That guy wears a mask the whole time?
No, he had the mask on.
I gotta give you my fight of the year.
Yes.
I don't know if you agree with these or not, Casey, but my runner-up is Korean Superboy and Cub Swanson. It was almost fight of the year, but it was only 3 rounds. Lighter weight class, but so good. Such a good fight. If you haven't watched that fight, watch that fight. Amazing.
Yes. I just saw Scott Norton throw Cheeseburger out of the ring, and then a group of people just threw him back in.
Byron, the Battle Royal is awesome. Keep watching that. Keep watching that, though. It's good.
It was a gift.
And then Robbie Lawler versus Carlos Condit. That's my fight of the year.
Go fight.
And it was at the very beginning of the year. It lasted the entire year, which is an amazing feat. It did not leave my mind. It just was. And
now was Robbie Lawler and
now these guys are nowhere to be found.
Your fight of the year when that happened?
What's that?
Was Robbie Lawler and Rory McDonald your fight of the year when that one happened?
It was close, and that's a good fight too, but that's probably my number 3.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
And I love that fight. So my fighter of the year, I'll give it to you. I'll give you my top 5 fighters of the year. In 5th place, Michael Bisping. Not because he's the best one out there, but because his story this year, the fact that he actually is wearing that belt and he beat Anderson Silva and he beat Luke Rockhold, like he has had the most amazing year. And in a lot of other years would have easily been fighter of the year, but there's some other amazing stuff that happened this year. My number 4.
I just want to high five him for beating Luke Rockhold, though. Like legit, like that's just great.
And called his shot too, and actually did it. Who thought that was going to happen? I mean, I actually picked him to win that fight, but it was on a whim, and I thought I was crazy. And anybody who picked him to win that fight would have been crazy. My number 4 is actually Cowboy Cerrone. The loss to RDA was ridiculous and horrifying, but the move up to 170 and what he's been able to do up there, and the fact that this guy keeps reinventing himself and keeps being having never won a belt is amazing to me now. And he's so entertaining.
And he's never going to get a belt with this union shit that he's trying to do, but you know.
Well, he backpedaled a little bit, and him and Dana went and had dinner, and he's kind of backed off of it, but we'll see where that goes. But at the same time, like his ability to reinvent himself and go out there and slugfest and fight like 5 times a year amazing to me. And the guy doesn't even need a belt. He will always be a draw. He can headline a card anytime he wants to. And that alone deserves to put him in the running for Fighter of the Year again. But he didn't get it.
So far, everyone you're naming is someone that I would specifically buy a show to see fight.
So my number 3 is Stipe Miocic. I think that his title win is great. The reason why he's not higher is that he hasn't defended it again. If he had defended it another time this year, he could have easily been Fighter of the Year. But we haven't seen enough of him the second half of the year, and rightfully so. He's taken a break. He took a lot of hard fights to get to the belt, and he wanted these other guys to fight it out underneath, even though that Verdum-Kane fight got pulled off the last card, which was – it really actually hurt that card too. That card could have used that fight. But anyway, so Stipe is number 3.
Didn't he get surgery or something too? Didn't he have to go under the knife?
Yeah, he had a few bangs, a couple tree dents that he needed to get fixed up. So, and in the heavyweight division, it's understandable. You're not going to see 15 title fights in a year for the heavyweight division. So here's the tough one. So you know that the two names that are left out there, I said one of them earlier, Cody Garbrandt. And of course, we haven't talked about the magnificent one, Mystic Mac. I have Cody as the runner-up. Even with the 4 wins, even winning the belt, I'm giving Fighter of the Year to Conor McGregor.
I got you. Diaz is number 1. That's a good choice.
Not Diaz, Conor McGregor. I don't have Diaz in the top 5. Look, Diaz beat Conor McGregor. But here's the reason why. And Dominic did this after the Cody Garbrandt fight too. When Conor lost, he did the right thing. He came out there to that press conference and he said, I got beat. I got handled. I'm still a badass man, but I got handled. Dominic did the same thing. In fact, Dominic's post-fight speech puts him immediately in the Hall of Fame, in my opinion. It immediately made him one of my favorite fighters of all time. His post-fight speech, he wouldn't even sit down. He was like, no, I'm going to stand up. I'm on my own 2 feet. What's a loss? I lost. I still get to do what I love. I love the fight. I fought good. That guy fought better. No excuses. You know, I'll figure it out and I'll come back and do something else. That's the way you do it. Conor McGregor, he lost that fight and he was like, man, I want the same weight class. I want the same guy. I want to go back to the drawing board and I want to figure out how to beat him. He beat me fair and square. I want to figure out how to beat him. It's a small step off of my path. And then I'm going to go on to call my shots and do all this other ridiculous stuff and knock out Vinny Barbarino or whatever that guy's name was who used to have that 155 belt. Eddie something or other. And he did it. He did it. That's amazing. That's Fighter of the Year material. And the notoriety he's brought to the sport, he is now, hands down, the face of the sport, especially with what happened to Ronda Rousey. He's the name that everyone knows. He's the biggest draw out there. He is the future of the sport. And he can still lose, and it's not a problem. Who cares that he lost? The fight where he lost was huge, and it was huge because of him. As great as Nate is, Nate brought 25% more to that fight, but 75% was already there because it was a Conor fight. You know, it was going to be Conor RDA, and that 75% was already there.
I got to say, your criteria is sound, though, because if Cody loses, it's a lot more damaging than that loss was for Conor.
Yeah, and that is also the sign of a great fighter, is you can take a loss and still turn it into more hype.
Right. Right.
Exposure. People were still betting for him, just like as much as before. He was still the favorite in the second fight, I believe. I mean, that's incredible. That's hard to do.
Yeah.
All right, so that's my Fighter of the Year. My female Fighter of the Year, I'll give you my top 4. I think Juliana Pena is number 4 right now. I got Michelle Watterson 3rd. Even though she only had the one fight, it was a big moment to dethrone Paige like that. And Michelle's always been really, really good. And I think she immediately put herself up there. I'd like to see her versus Rose and then her versus Joanna, or whoever wins between her and Rose versus Joanna would be awesome to me. I think Nunes is number 2, and I'm giving Joanna Jędrzejczyk number 1.
Fucking right. Fucking right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
She's just amazing, and she deserves it. All right, so Byron, you had your hot take on Vampiro earlier. Casey, you got any hot takes? Because I got a hot take on some of the Lucha stuff myself.
Oh no, we don't have time to talk about it right now. So I just want to, since we don't have time to talk about this because we're going to talk about the Lucha thing, I just want to with no further comment or impressions, congratulate Paige and Alberto Del Rio on their engagement. I'm glad for you. I'm happy for them. Let's talk about Lucha Underground's thing.
Congrats to
Why did he
ADR
buy her that
picking
ring?
up his brother in a cop station.
Oh, and by the way, for the people who are asking, I know I told a couple of people we'd talk a little WWE. Well, I don't really have a ton of time for WWE, but I don't think La Luchadora is Mickie James, as has been reported. I think it's.
I got to see that.
I don't think it's her. I think it's Diana Perrazzo.
I think it's NWO Sting. When's the last time you saw him?
Didn't
We'll
so
see. Like, it would be cool if it was Mickie James, but I don't know.
you mean Liv? Liv was, yeah. He was at a show.
What's even cooler is if it was Sexy Star and then we never had to see her on Lucha Underground again.
It's not that.
I know.
Um,
I know.
Jeff Jarrett's going back to TNA.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I think so.
Good
The
for him.
TNA is officially bought now, right?
Mhm. Which
Well, they should. Like, they honestly, they need Jeff Jarrett at this point, and what he's done with Global Force, they kind of need to merge it all up.
Yeah.
To me,
did you guys watch Workaholics, right?
I used to.
Does Global Force just totally remind you of the Gaylord's Force episode every time anyone says it?
No.
Oh, I think you need to see that episode again.
What's your
Am I
hot take,
glitching?
Justin?
I was trying to give you my hot take, but I started glitching. Can you hear me now?
Oh yeah, we can hear you. We need to get some doom and gloom up in here, Justin. Let's talk about this hiatus. Or am I just the only doom and gloom?
I can say some things and I can't say other things. I don't want to get anybody in trouble. First of all, let me start there. I don't want to get anybody in trouble. But I think there's some interesting beefs out there, and I don't entirely know what's going on. And I'm trying to figure out this whole thing, the hiatus, the filming in March, the not airing again until 2018. If you haven't heard, and stop me if I'm glitching, guys, because my internet reception is a little funky right now. So, it was announced a few weeks ago, or there were rumblings. Talent. Nothing has been officially announced from Lucha Underground, by the way.
Right.
It's rumblings from Talent that they were released to book stuff for the spring because Lucha wasn't going to tape until October, and that new episodes weren't going to air until 2018. And then what was announced by Lucha Underground is all of a sudden there's going to be a hiatus in the show, and I don't even know how long it is, and I've been trying to figure it out through the program schedule and whatnot. We don't even know how long Lucha is going to be off the air or what the mid-season hiatus means. So all these things kind of came up, and when Eric Van Wagenen was last on our show, and DJ as well, they were talking about, wanting some changes at Lucha Underground and, trying to do some bigger and better things for the next season, and that they were about to head into meetings to start to try to iron all that stuff out and figure that out. And from what I can tell, those meetings happened, and they did make some decisions, and some of these things were the decisions. I don't know whether the slowdown is because they wanted to make some changes at the actual temple in the physical setup. I've heard that is part of the scenario, that they want to actually physically change the temple. So, and it's probably torn down right now, that other productions may be using it. But by the time, if they started it right now to get that done, it would be summer, and they don't want to run in that building in the summer. We've always known that.
No,
So
they've done it before, and it fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and ED-Dub has told us that directly in person a million times, and so has Talent. Like, everyone says it all the time. Nobody wants to work in that building in the summer. But at the same time, if you're going to make major changes to it, I don't know if this is the case, but maybe there's not enough time for them to make the changes and get out of that building before summer and actually shoot a season. So it might not be worth it. And if they have to tear down for other productions, and I don't think they own the building. They still lease it out.
No, yeah.
So they have to find.
It's like a
Go ahead,
soundstage.
Byron.
Yeah,
so they have to find the right time of year to do this, put the whole thing back up, get a long enough run out of it. Michelle Ray wants the show off the air by any stretch of the imagination. I think it's cheap for them. It gets a good enough number. They probably as much shows they.
What happened?
Am
I gone?
No, I
it's
can-
probably me.
Oh yeah, you're good now though, Justin.
Yeah. Like 10
So
seconds.
what I was saying is I believe that there was probably a good reason for spacing this thing out. And we don't know all the ins and outs of it, but let's just assume it was a good reason. There's a problem with this, however, though, which is a lot of the talent was expecting to be working at Lucha. A lot of talent that needs TV days. And there's some folks that sound a little heated, and maybe rightfully so. So what do you do when you get in this kind of predicament where now you've got the happiest locker room in wrestling grumbling? And nobody was expecting that.
Dude.
You guys, am I still there? You still with me?
Yeah. I mean, the more that we talk about this, the more that we think about it, the worse thoughts I get about it. Does that make sense? Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm a glass is half empty kind of person. Maybe I remember TBS remembering how TBS suddenly decided it was easier to play Seinfeld reruns than pay for a wrestling company.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
El Rey isn't going to do that for this one because they're in desperate need for original programming.
I mean, they are, but are they? Like
Yes.
I think so.
all these upstart networks start off with a shitload of original programming, and then they end up being the network that just plays cheater reruns for 3 hours a day.
But El Rey's not the well. I think with all the stuff Justin's saying, I think that Lucha realized they needed a bigger hiatus to get all their stuff figured out, and it's going to shortchange some people. And it's up to, at some point Lucha's going to have their act together and go full speed and give it a go, and whoever's still there will still be there. But
I gotta say, like, this is the lowest I think I've seen morale overall for the company, and I hope they find a solution to it. Like either going out on tour and trying to get some more tour dates, though I think that's probably a hot mess too, between who's going to pay for it and how they're going to do that and how they set it up. Because getting started touring is expensive, and if the LLC doesn't want to pay for it, MGM going to pay for it, the network's not going to pay for it. They don't get a show out of it. So who pays to go on tour and keep the talent happy and get the product exposure? And this is where not having a Vince McMahon kind of hurts you, because for Vince, it's like the whole product, touring and T-shirts and everything, is the bottom line. For this, you've got separate entities that all have separate portions of it, so it doesn't necessarily make sense. I mean, to me, the LLC should be paying for it, but then who's running the touring shows? Is EB Dub running them? Is DJ running them? Like, DJ probably doesn't care. He just wants to write his TV show, and that's what he should want to do. I don't know. So it's like big solution to me is you got to go on tour. That's the only solution to keeping the locker room happy. If not, it means you're going to have to wait and hope to God everybody stays intact and everything stays intact. And then once you get the locker room back together, start making people happy again.
I agree.
There's a few things that don't sit well with me, and one of them was somebody on Twitter asking DJ how long the hiatus was going to be, and his response being, "You should ask the El Rey Network that." I don't think that's good. The other thing is, if I was a certain someone that may or may not be on my way out of the company after the season airs, I'm really fucking pissed right now. I know that person's got other commitments outside of the country to make up for this, but if that was the plan for this person, they're kind of fucked a little bit more than they were before.
What about the guys that have been working and trying to build it up to get to their TV time, and now their TV time is an entire year later? I mean, talk about trying to get yourself over and up your indie booking fees and whatnot. How do you do it now?
There's a lot of guys who
shit for Fox and fucking Sammy, dude. Like, fucking Fox and Sammy have what, like 3 televised matches each, if that, and there are dope fucking matches coming up, and no one's gonna see them until after this hiatus is fucking over.
Well, the roster takes a lot of pride in wearing that Lucha Underground logo when they wear the hoodies and this and that. And it's really, I think, they work for a lot of different companies, but you see like a guy like Joey Ryan do his airplane selfie that he always does, and he's wearing the Lucha Underground sweatshirt. You see the Stardom girls one of them does a gym selfie and she's wearing Lucha Underground. Like, it's a thing where everyone is proud to be a Lucha Underground luchador or star.
Yeah, I mean, you've got guys like Kevin Cross who are signed to Lucha Underground who haven't even appeared yet, but his banner on his Twitter has him in a Lucha jacket. He's proud of it. He's proud that he's going to be coming in. He's not even there yet.
Yeah, and when you're taping shows while shows are airing or when shows are airing, you're a Lucha Underground person, guy or girl. But when they have the hiatus, they're not running shows. What are you? You're not, at the end of the day, when you're not getting the paycheck from the company, when you're not full time with them like you are with WWE, are you really that brand?
And they've seen now what happened to Hernandez trying to get out between seasons. And
yeah, I mean, and I hope that doesn't happen. I hope that doesn't happen. I mean, I even look at the AAA guys like, dang, now they got to go back down south and beg for their paychecks and hope that they're getting paid when they go do shows down there. I mean, they're not out of it either. I'm sure that they were all looking forward to getting back up here and spending spring, you know, in LA and doing the shows for Lucha and getting their exposure up in the States too. I mean, just because they're signed AAA talent doesn't mean that they have it any better than these indie guys either.
Yeah.
You know, they got to go back and bow down to AAA for a paycheck for another year.
It's almost
I know
like,
that AAA was cool to Pentagon, though, saying when he said he wanted to make U.S. dates, just indie dates, his priority, they were cool with letting him do that. So maybe they'll let these guys do that as well.
well, they're not.
I don't know. From everything I've heard, like people have implied that they think something is going on with Phoenix or with Pentagon because of what happened with Phoenix and whatnot. From what I understand, that is absolutely not true. Pentagon is square with everybody. He's good with AAW. He's good over in Europe. He's trying to get some Japanese stuff going on, and everybody's good with him. He's got no qualms with AAA. He's making the dates they're asking him for.
He's getting his rematch with Mundo for the belt in AAA. So
yeah, Lucha Underground is treating him right, you know, as far as anybody knows. So if there's anyone out there spreading rumors, as far as I can tell, and from everyone I've talked to, they're completely unfounded. And Pentagon is the one dude in this whole situation that seems to be fine. Rey Mysterio is also fine. He's on a different contract than everyone else. They find extra stuff for him to do.
Yeah.
Mundo's got sponsorships and stuff going on, and he doesn't even want to take a lot of dates anyway, I don't think. So I think he's fine and acting classes and up his game levels.
It's one of those things where, yeah, it's just we'll see where everyone lands at the end of it.
Yeah, the guys you wonder about are like Cobb and you know, Macias and these guys and what they're going to be doing, and AR and Killshot and how it plays for those guys, especially the ones who are in a gimmick in Lucha. And it's hard enough to get the exposure because when they're doing the indies, they're not in their gimmicks.
Like Luchasaurus actually doing a spot as Luchasaurus.
yeah.
That's stupid.
You know, I gotta say though, I just hope that whatever happens, they're better at communicating with. See, I was gonna say the fans and the talent, but they don't know the fans anything. They can communicate whatever the fuck they want. But I hope that they communicate with the talent better what's going on than what happened between season 1 and season 2.
Well, I think that's part of the problem. I think that the space here is an issue. I think it's really an issue. The space between
5 months of TV left, 4 or 5 months of TV in the can that's not airing right now. Like, that's fucked up.
I don't know if it's 4 or 5 months.
Yeah, that's problematic.
It's 20 episodes, Byron. That's.
But they can also double shot them.
No.
Sorry, I'm glitching again.
Dude, you know what? If they start double shotting them, that means they're canceling the show. That's a bad sign. If we see that happen, I'm calling it now. The show's fucking canceled.
I don't see El Rey canceling it. And you know, the other hypothetical thing that someone brought up to me is, what if we're waiting on the Netflix deal?
Yeah.
What if that's part of the holdup? If they're doing the Netflix deal and there's something there where Netflix wants to dump a certain amount in at one time, because we heard tale of the Netflix deal, then we heard that there might be a Hulu deal, and then I think we asked EVW about it, and he didn't confirm or deny at all.
Well, Justin, what do you think if there's a Netflix deal? Do you think that part of that is going to be a pause or a hold on new content on TV? So if you sign Netflix, You say, well, okay, now you can't start the new season until we make enough money showing the old episodes.
That could be part of it, is that they want enough time to drop it in the pipeline. But the way that Netflix works is they're very agreeable, and man, they'll throw money at content.
Yeah.
So if they believe in the content, the problem with Netflix, I believe, is they have said that, you know, live sporting stuff doesn't work for them. Lucha Underground, however, might be the perfect fit for that arena.
Right.
But it's also an arena they've kind of written off because it's not a live sporting event. It is still a TV show. They get seasons out of it. It's a very binge watchable show. It's perfect for binge watching, which is what they like. You know, the storylines continue and loop over, and you want to see 3 or 4 episodes at a time. And I think wrestling fans that aren't watching the product right now would eat it up on Netflix. And back in the day, they had a good run with WWE old content. They took a lot of video library stuff from WWE back in the day before network, and Netflix had a good run with it. Those people don't work at Netflix anymore, though. So the question is, do they see the benefit there? Better, but they've already got WWE stuff.
And
so
TNA.
Yeah, so there might be a conflict there, and there might not be reasons for them to pay the money that Lucha should get.
Amazon too, but Amazon won't do it. They won't.
Yeah, I don't think so either. And I think part of the problem is with a network as young as El Rey, they have to monetize the back end really, really well for El Rey Network to have it be worth it for them to do it and not hoard the content themselves. Even though it could give them a nice boost in ratings and bring more eyeballs and understanding to the network. And Dusk Till Dawn is on Netflix. You can watch all 3 current seasons. You can watch it up to the very last episode that's aired on El Rey already. The 3rd season was on Netflix, I think 3 or 4 weeks after the finale.
Yeah, it was super fast. And it's uncensored too on Netflix. So you're getting a better version than is on El Rey. Well,
on Sling, each episode for a while, there was 2 versions of it. The late night episode, the after 10.
Yeah.
The early version. First show.
Yeah, you know my shitty work schedule. I'm the early version of everything.
Yeah, which stinks, dude. always go back and watch it later with the uncut versions. Anyway, I don't know. I don't know if it's a hot take. I don't know what I'm shooting on. You know, there's information. I'm hearing stuff from lots of people, different things, all sorts of sources coming from different places. And believe me, people are hitting me up, telling me about gripes and grumbles and this, that, and the other thing. So I don't know what to make of it, to tell you the truth.
All I gotta really say is that I hope something good comes from it, because everything we're seeing fucking sucks all around. Like, it just sucks for everybody. So
maybe it does, but maybe it doesn't. I mean, maybe you just got to get through it, you know?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Lucha Underground, when it comes back, it's going to be set up to operate how it's supposed to be operated. And everyone's going to be happy once it's going and they're doing the shows again. But
it is tough right now. It's tough right now. The white boy champion, you got talent that's not working, you got fans who were clamoring to get back in the temple, not getting in. But, you know, and we were among them, fans who were also a little ticked about, you know, tickets and this, that, and the other thing, you know, and they've been teasing maybe charging for tickets next season. I don't know. They have some things that they might want to fix in that department. And how do you do it? You know, they don't need to just stack the crowd like a TV show taping anymore. It's an actual event that people want to go to, and people are paying, you know, ridiculous sums of money for PWG just up the street from me.
Right. And you know what? A lot of people are going to get mad, but I got to reiterate again, they do not owe the fans anything. They're giving us a free product that we enjoy. But
well, and what if they do start charging for it? Is that going to be a problem? I mean, it might change the demographic of who's at the temple.
It's only a problem if they can't sell the temple out for the tapings.
Which they probably will, because they already have 1 million fucking people trying to get in that can't. So it's
but if they stack them close and they make the temple bigger, you got to wonder. It's like a lot of those guys who come to every single taping. Do you imagine they're going to, if tickets are $60 a pop?
Well,
they're going to come to. We're talking about
taping?
People that drop $300 on masks regularly. You know what I mean? Like,
but you also look at it like when they get to the other side of things and they have it figured out, and if they're charging or whatever, will there be the people making the show? Will there be the wrestlers who will show up and work for the company? And will there be fans? And I think the answers are yes to all of those. But are they going to be the same?
I don't think they will.
know. Everyone has to make their own decision on what's best for their own interests.
And that's what I'm saying is different. That's what has changed. When you had a very, very unified locker room in the past, regardless of people having different deals or coming from different promotions or having different levels of exposure, you had a very unified locker room. And what I'm hearing right now is people are finally saying, well, shit, how do I do this for me? Whether it be fans that want to go to the shows, whether it be the writing staff, whether it be the LLC trying to figure out t-shirt sales, whether it be the workers trying to figure out contracts and whether or not they see themselves going to WWE, or if Lucha Underground is the final place that they want to be. You know, because a year ago, I'm here to tell you, like, most of the workers in Lucha Underground were like, I don't give a shit about WWE. I don't care about going to that show. It stinks. This is a better show. These are nicer people. I like this locker room. I'm getting a good deal. Like, I feel good about it. Tapings are coming. Seasons are getting renewed. I'm all good about it. I'm here to tell you now, there's cats out there like, what's up, WWE? How do I get over there? I heard you guys are opening up more divisions. There's things going on. Like, and they don't care if it's a shittier product. They want a better life for themselves and more exposure, and exposure in a timely fashion while they're young and while they can work.
And a regular paycheck, and not having to scramble for spring dates because you find out that you're not getting spring dates in fucking January when the shows are already all booked.
So it's, don't get me wrong though. And I also think a lot of that's initial reaction. I think a lot of this talent, they're already picking up bookings. I can see them. I see their bookings are already happening. They're already filling those dates. It wasn't nearly as big an issue for most of those people as they made it out to be. And honestly, because they're Lucha talent, they're getting good rates. They're able to book themselves. It's just like they weren't expecting to have to.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And man, I don't know. And plus, like, the wounds were still fresh, you know, and they still kind of are, because the finale hasn't even happened yet. You know what I mean? Like, and we still don't know how long the break's going to be.
No, and that is a big part of it. We don't know how long the break's going to be.
Because literally,
anybody has inside info on how long the break's going to be. If you're talent, or if you work at Lucha, or if you just want to give us some goods, DM me and tell me how long the hiatus is going to be. I will not say, I promise, but I'm very curious. There's a lot of stuff, by the way, tonight that I have not said, that I won't say because people have asked me not to say, so I won't say it. But,
and I want people to not tell me shit, because I will not fucking keep it quiet. I got fucking Dave Meltzer on speed dial. I've got fucking
guys.
No, not really.
Guys.
But don't tell me anything anyway, because
guys, guess who just showed up at NXT and got in the face of Shinsuke Nakamura? Here's a hint. He's fat.
Johnny Hendricks?
Yeah, I was just gonna say the same thing. Shit.
Cassius Ono.
What?
Cassius Ono is in an NXT ring, stretching out a suit, talking to Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yeah, that's great. Are you sure he's not just Chris Hero?
No, he's using Cassius Ono.
Seriously? So they're going to have 2 KOs running around?
Yeah.
Wow.
Looks like
interesting.
It happened. Anyways, I don't
have anything else. We have Byron's hot take on Vampiro. We have my hot take on whatever's going on with this hiatus. Casey is a living hot take. Anybody else got hot takes or anything? Or are we done with this thing?
Again, congrats on the engagement to Alberta Del Rio and Paige. I have no jokes. I ran out of jokes last time. Like legit. Like
he fought a Ninja Turtle last time. You can't top that.
No, he did.
I know.
He and his brother beat some people up, got arrested, and then he beat his brother up. So
in jail.
Station.
His brother up while in jail, and that's still not as funny as getting in a fight with a fucking Ninja Turtle.
Blood.
I think that his brother told him and asked him why he bought that ring for Paige. He was probably like, "Why did you spend all that money on that crackhead?"
It's probably fake. But anyway, he busted out. They tried to zip tie cuff him, and Del Rio and his steroid arms busted out.
Hercules.
Hercules.
Oh man.
All
That is pretty dope, but it would have been better if it was the Ninja Turtles that put him in prison. Like they would a subway attacker or a member of the Foot Clan, but when they're the humans and not the robots, unlike the cartoon.
So you got your
'Cause
mug,
you know
Casey.
you can fuck up a robot.
These not these shirts, but the new edition of this shirt is coming. I think most people will get them this weekend or early next week. So
Yeah, I didn't get the shirt yet. I got the coffee mug, but I did not get my shirt yet because it's a different printing process, obviously. But
yeah, my
Yeah.
coffee mug, I think my tracking said it comes tomorrow. But look for your shirts, folks, if you ordered them, and proudly display them and tweet us. We'll retweet it. We'll shout you out on the show because I want to see what they look like on you folks. And
yeah,
I don't have anything else. You got anything else, Byron?
Let's keep it short
I
this
apologize
weekend.
for Brandon. It wasn't
Everyone
my
apologizes
fault.
for Brandon. Thanks for stopping by, Brandon. Brandon was excited to talk some New Japan. So I was like, oh yeah, let's have Brandon on. Let him talk some New Japan. Love it.
I'm really bummed you spoiled that whole episode of Shameless.
Yeah, really. And if anybody else wants to come on the show, hit us up. Hit us in the DM. Send us an email at mmmshow75@gmail.com.
But only people that make our ratings go up.
Or people that annoy Casey. That's usually my criteria for guests.
It's like fucking everyone except Jim, dude. What the fuck?
We are going to need some guests too because we don't know how long this hiatus is. So we're not going to have the show to talk about. So we'll need some guests.
Yeah, so we should tell our viewers how it's going to be half He-Man, half MMA, right? Like we decided on that?
If we do and Web's money show.
What?
We could call it the Musclor, Mats, and Mayhem because in France, He-Man is Musclor.
I'm telling you, dude. Celebrity Apprentice, Bachelor, and He-Man.
I don't want to steal a heels gimmick.
Okay, fine. How about
Why not? Everyone else does.
That's true, they do.
How about the Wall? He-Man? And all my analysis on the Wall is just gonna be me imitating Hulk Hogan, say that's the Wall, brother. And
wait, what's wrong with stealing? What's wrong with doing Celebrity Apprentice? Do a podcast that the heels do a podcast about
Oh, we did steal that whole thing.
Apprentice too. We love EB Dub.
how about we do? Okay, wait. I'm just in on the He-Man thing. Like maybe we could talk about like some G.I. Joe once in a while, and how like
I'm down with G.I. Joe.
yeah.
As long as we're not talking like Channing Tatum G.I. Joe.
No. But I gotta legit say, G.I. Joe may be the one thing that ninjas ruined because they made too many ninjas in the comics and it just fucking ruined everything. But Storm Shadow's dope.
Storm Shadow is dope. Original Snake Eyes story, Snake Eyes versus Storm Shadow story, issue 27 and 28, I believe. That's worth it.
Fucking
Anyway.
Zartan, he's shit.
Yeah. All right. For Byron Fever, for at Lucha Gringo, for anyone who is sitting at the temple, big shout outs to everyone who, likes the stuff that we like, and big thumbs down, screw you, get lost to people who don't. If you don't like what we like, then don't listen to us. You're stupid for getting this far into the podcast anyway.
Yeah. And we don't say goodbye, we say good journey. That's a reference to the He-Man movie.
We love you all.
Oh,
Urban's going to join the call at the end.
are you watching Shameless too?
Dude, I'm watching y'all. And all I heard was somebody stealing my gimmick. Then Justin tried to hurry up and get away before I talked about bondage.
Yeah,
Funny.
Urban. Byron tucked his dick between his legs and was doing the Buffalo Bill thing.
I'd fuck me.
Right in the temple.
Oh, horrible. Fucking horrible.
Hey, Urban, I
wanted-
just wanted to say I really loved your Slim Jim commercial. I thought you guys were great in that.
I know, right? They totally ripped us off.
Woo!
We actually talked about that on a podcast episode once. I'll have to go find it to prove it, and then maybe I'll get paid.
That's what you should do.
Dude, you should we should have you on, and you should have like a really loud TV show in the background, so it keeps switching to your camera even when other people are talking. And yeah, it would be pretty great. But
Oh,
yeah,
man.
dude, that commercial did look like you guys. I know sold it to you guys like for the last few days, but I do think that those guys kind of look like the Glendale version of the last Real Heels.
They definitely look better. The guy playing me he looked a lot better than me.
He wore a mask the whole time.
I was
Exactly.
telling you guys, the guy they got to play you looks like the guy that tries to sell me cologne at the mall.
Hey, Urban, did you know Chris Hero's officially back in NXT?
I just saw that on the Twitter. Something
Did,
that should air
did
January
Shinsuke
25th.
Did Shinsuke just straight up motorboat him when he got in his face?
I don't
think
know.
he
Somebody
kinda-
was touching a belt. I remember. I was looking at the picture.
I think
Hero
that's all
was touching
happened.
the belt, and it didn't look good. He looked. Well, I mean, it looked good. I'm always excited to see Chris Hero wrestle. That motherfucker's great.
He's awesome.
We like hit elbows with him and shit. Remember, Byron?
Yeah, dude. Chris Hero's the man. We did the forearm bump every time he came to the ring at PWG Bola 2015.
Remember when that hipster dude booed him and Hero just stood over him and shoved his dick in his face? That was
That
great.
was awesome.
I was at a
Byron, when are you
wrestling
gonna
show
send
one
me the
time.
discs for Bola this year. I want to see this year's Bola.
I don't have him yet. I never ordered it.
Oh, you
What?
suck.
Oh, I totally thought you pre-ordered that shit, Byron.
I didn't.
You invited
got
us all to
busy.
come to your house and watch it.
I was.
Yeah,
I
you
would.
invited us for a viewing party at your house.
Then
Some
I
shit
would
you
have
don't
had
even
him.
own.
I would have had him, but
Oh,
you guys
anyway.
said no.
He said we would watch Bola and we would watch the He-Man movie, which I would supply because I own
Oh
that.
shit! Urban's face. Urban
Oh
talk.
shit!
No, dude.
I thought Charles Manson was dying.
I came back to life. Took over another vessel.
Urban, what do you feel about?
I wanted to say something about Justin and earlier and talking about all the lucha stuff, and I agree with you, Justin. I think there's too many. This is probably a really insensitive remark, and I apologize if it seems racist, but there's too many Indians, not enough chiefs, and that's a knock on the indigenous people of the North American continent. But sorry, it's the only way I can say it.
Hey, Urban, have you ever heard of the Aum Shinrikyo cult in Japan? Because right now you look exactly like the leader of the cult. I'll find a picture.
Find a picture. I was also at Wrestle Kingdom 11 in Okada's corner.
Yeah,
Rainmaker.
I did see that. I did see your doppelganger there. What was up with that?
Have dinosaurs? Because I hated how he didn't have dinosaurs, and it pissed me off, and it ruined. Okay.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
Have you authorized any subway nerve gas attacks recently, Urban?
Oh, God.
Take it easy. Take it easy.
Uh,
No, back to Urban's real
Nope.
point. Yeah, you think that's what it is? You think that, and it's unfortunate because I feel like there's dudes who are trying to be chiefs in that situation, one in particular, but I feel like they just don't have the pull financially in the situation to make the things happen that they want to happen.
I think if you would just let creative do what they need to do, it would be a lot better off. And I think
And by
like
that,
the
you mean
hostility,
right?
yeah, and hire the heels, and of course, I think any hostility that you might sense or like doom you might sense from like DJ's tweets, he's like low on the food chain, man, when it comes to all those people. I don't think he's just telling you how it is. You gotta ask El Rey. They're the ones running the fucking show.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting. Like, I hope one of them writes a book about this period because I think that there's probably some epic stuff going on that we will never get a straight answer about in the next couple of years.
Oh, and there's gonna be
Probably.
some dope poop stories in there because I've heard some poop stories, bro.
For lucha related
It's wrestling.
or in
There's always
general?
there's always poop
No,
stories.
Lucha Underground poop stories. There's poop stories. Did I never tell you guys the poop stories?
Tell us a poop story.
Yeah, for real. Like, I wasn't ready to get out of here, but if you got poop stories, dude, let's go.
Okay, so
Well, just
Are the only
you guys know my friend Kevin, right? Like animator Kevin came to some shows.
yeah.
Urban, I think you met him at Ultima Lucha. Actually, he had one of the Pentagon signs with us, but he would wear his Lucha Underground shirts to his job at Halloween Town in Burbank. And somebody who used to work on the show saw him wear the shirt and said, or it was a friend of somebody that worked on the show or something, but they're like, dude, it sucked working on that show because people were shitting on the floor and I would have to clean it up. And that's not really what was happening, I don't think. I think what was happening is that people were putting used toilet paper on the floor because that happens in Mexico.
That's a
right?
cultural thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's what was really happening because I've actually heard that version of the story somewhere else, but I just had to tell the poop story. It wasn't a very exciting poop story, but it was a story with poop. So I felt like I had to tell it.
Can you tell an
only
exciting one
poop
real
story
quick to
I
make up
have-
for that?
Yeah, I do. I can. I can
This whole
tell
thing
you
had nothing to do with
about.
the story.
I can tell you about.
You want
running down
you want an
Skid Row.
exciting poop story? I heard they
What?
got a 6'10" piece of shit to play a snake. How about that?
Tisk. Tisk.
Eat a Snickers. You're smangry.
Yeah, really. You are mad smangry.
I didn't eat dinner yet. We've been doing this shit since 5 o'clock. I'm so
Me too.
hungry. My stomach-
I am too.
All right. Well, I'm out of here then.
Later.
But first, the poop
Yeah.
story. We were walking down Skid Row, and we were like, I guess we got two streets off, maybe 2 blocks away or something. And we're just walking down the fucking street in LA. And I look down, and there's just there's a fucking human turd just right there in the fucking street, right
Fuck
next to
yeah,
some
bro.
big tree. I was like, that's just something I've never seen before, and it just kind of blew my mind. And I was like, that's when I realized.
Did you get all pink flamingos with it?
Oh my god, I got out of there quick.
Somebody sent me a bowel movement.
No, I was not gonna pick it up and eat it. No, or something. Well, that's John Waters, isn't it? I was in the wrong thing. Shit.
Dude, Urban, that it used to be more common here. Like Hollywood Boulevard, you would see that shit all the time. I remember I was a little kid and my dad took me to Hollywood. I was like 6, 7 years old. Saw a dude with his pants down just fucking pissing and walking at the same time. It was amazing.
That's
a
skill.
skill.
Takes talent.
And that was on
that is
like
talent.
people's stars and shit, you know?
There's so many muscles down there that would be impossible for me.
I would
ended
get
up
my
shitting all
shoes
over myself.
really messed up. I would just be dragging all over myself, I think. All right, well,
Yeah.
we've completely degenerated. I was going to end this
Yeah.
show like 20 minutes ago. I have no clue
Urban.
what happened.
Yeah, all I know is Urban comes on and we just start talking about piss and shit all night. Like, I don't know.
Urban, you totally just railroaded our fine arts podcast.
What is your
That's
shot?
what I do.
Aren't you some kind of cameraman? What are you filming over there?
I'm looking for something. Urban, all I have to say to you is
With
stay
your
in the
camera?
mix.
Hey, wait.
Stay in the mix.
God.
Good journey. Good journey, people. Good journey.
Here's how we're
What
going to
am
do
I
this.
shooting?
We're going to
What?
mute this. We'll mute this. Mute this. All right, y'all. Thanks for stopping by. It's been real. It's been real something. We talked about Wrestle Kingdom and WWE and Lucha Underground and UFC and all sorts of stuff. And I love those guys. Thanks for Urban stopping by. Thanks to Brandon for stopping by. Thanks for Casey for coming back, doing his own show. Thanks to Byron for having bad camera angles. I'm the Outlaw LA Red, and until next time, stay calm and stay in the mix.